Raindrops. It's Monday. Are y'all gonna be nice? PJ, they nice in the comments. Well, me and Dustin have this rule. We don't read the comments because we ain't got time to be distracted. So be nice in the comments. It's Monday. We had a long weekend. And Monday is for us to be with each other, to have fun, to celebrate greatness. All right? Okay, hold on. We got a lot of people coming. We got Lovely Beauty ready for the foolishness. I know. Kicking the week off with the Monday Night Live is the best medicine to do. To have. We're going to have fun. We have a jam-packed show. It's time, KNA. Okay. All right. Anthony Buchanan, I am excited for Met Gala. Hi, Lionel, my raindrop. Raquel Gamble. It's about to go down tonight. We have a jam-packed show. That's why I not Claudia light this bitch up. I mean, do not instigate when it comes to Claudia needs no instigation, okay? Don't activate Claudia. Leave her alone. We have our special guest here too, who will be joining us as well. I am super duper stoked for tonight's episode. So look, let's just get started. We have a lot going on. So we have Mia Thornton in the building, who's going to join us in a few minutes. Mia Thornton from Potomac, who I like to call Mia Be Lion. Yes, we got Mia Be Lion live. So we'll say Mia Be Live. Okay, so Mia Be Live is live. Yes, Christy Hall. Okay, so she's going to join us later. But first, we have our Love and Marriage Detroit guys, Brandon and Anthony, joining us as well. Now, let's bring on my two favorite people in the entire world. I love everybody, but I think I love these two more as well. All right, give it up, y'all, for Dustin Ross and Claudia Jordan.
Hi. Hey, fellas.
It
Handsome
feels so
man.
good to be loved. What's up, Carlos? What's up, Claudia? How y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
Good.
How y'all doing?
I'm
How's y'all
so
weekend?
So I was in the Bahamas. I took my best friend Annie to the Bahamas. And we had some girl time and just regroup. You know, sometimes when people going through things in their lives, they just need their friend to say, get on a plane. And I got the rest. So that's what I did. And we had a great time. And it was just what we needed, just what she needed. And then I went to LA for Michael Blackson, Rada and Michael Blackson's baby shower. So I am tired. But I'm so ready for tonight.
You were moving around, weren't you?
Yes. Trying to be like you on tour.
A little something. I'm very excited about my tour. So if anybody wants to come watch me tell jokes, you can go to DustinRossLive.com and get tickets. We're going everywhere. St. Louis, Seattle, LA, Pittsburgh. We kick off in Pittsburgh May 24th. Atlanta, DC, and there's some new shows coming as well. So God is good. Speaking of Atlanta, I was there this weekend for a funeral. I love Atlanta. Even though the circumstances were fucked up, I love Atlanta.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I like going to Atlanta. I'm usually there for work, so it's a bit different experience than I had this weekend, but I still saw the beauty in the city. Atlanta is a good place to be for a lot of reasons. So, yeah.
You had a fun weekend, Justin. I see a little light in your eye when I read a little bit of a light amongst the darkness in your eye.
Who are you, Cleo?
A little bit.
Miss Claudia, call her now. Well, the good thing is I do have your phone number, so I can call you later and I'll tell you all the details.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but is she accurate though, Dustin?
No, I was there. I'm grieving. I was mourning. I was so
he lying. Dustin be lying right now.
Even about that.
Dustin.
I had on all black. Yeah. Yep. But I'm back in New York City, ready to start some shit. It's Met Monday, so I'll definitely be painting the town red tonight after we hang up. So yeah, I'm ready to get to it. We got some things to discuss this week.
Are we gonna come, Carlos? We have to go see Dustin on the road. I think we should definitely still stick to that DC plan. I really want to go to. I love DC, so I would love to go. to the DC
Pull
show.
up. I'm gonna send y'all the whole
that-
schedule. Look,
My brother
y'all
lives there.
y'all in the business. I'll send you the routing, and then we'll go from there or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, we will definitely support Dustin.
I love y'all.
Claudia, so
No, my brother and his wife. Shout out to my sister-in-law. She just became the new CEO of AARP. She is making bread.
oh yes.
And
Are
she is
you a member of AARP, Claudia?
Damn, Carlos.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess I should be because I am 50. I'm the oldest, right? I'm 52.
Mm-hmm. Not about who you are, but 52 is young now. 52.
You look
is not what it
amazing,
used to be.
Claudia. Yeah.
I'm not stressed out. No one's dusty ass son is stressing me out. No one's lying. No one be lying to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good.
Yes. No, Claudia's beautiful. Listen, this is how the beauty of our friendship is we can Jones each other and not take it personal, and we keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can learn a thing or two about having fun with your friends and cracking jokes on each other. So we all had a great weekend.
It's not mean spirited.
It's not mean spirited. It's not mean spirited. But no, I had a great weekend too. And
what'd you do, Carlos? Let me read you. Go ahead. Tell me a story so I can see if it's real or not.
Well, we have such a jam-packed show, so I'll keep it brief.
Was your weekend jam-packed?
It actually was.
And were you jamming or getting packed? No, I'm just playing. It was just right there. I had to. It was right there. And you nasty motherfuckers wasn't gonna say it first, so I had to get it out. Nah.
First of all, I have on a button-down shirt with a sweater vest. That's mesh. To represent Met Gala. No, I had a great weekend, and listen, life is good. Life is good.
Way to deflect. That's some pageant training, media training right there. Like you redirected us somewhere else. I got that. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It's good. I am I'm happy. So with that being said, we are going to begin tonight's festivities. We got a jam-packed show, so we'll get right into it. So y'all, Love and Marriage Detroit. Claudia, it doesn't want to say so much more, but that's why I love them. So Love and Marriage Detroit. Yes, Dared It by Queen Raindrop. Soulful Sundays was a hit. Make sure y'all watch it. It's about being Delulu in the best way possible. And speaking of Delulu, wait, Carlos, I know a podcaster that's African that has a crush on you.
Oh.
Dustin, Claudia, do we know any African podcasters?
First of all, don't get distracted, Carlos, because I thought you want to straighten our path.
You be the main nigga telling everybody do something different. As soon as somebody bring up an African, here you go, pause and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, do we know?
He's going back to his default. It's almost like he's a Real Housewives of Atlanta. He can't leave those African men alone.
Ooh, and it's not even 7:15. All right, y'all. So Love and Marriage Detroit is back. Our season finale aired this past Saturday. We have a lot to discuss with these guys. Ladies, gentlemen, gays, and bays, give it up for the stars of Love and Marriage Detroit, right. Brandon and Anthony.
Oh, man. Y'all got me cracking up. See, y'all are the people I grew up with. Y'all are the people I grew up with.
That's right. Talk a little shit sometimes. It's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Miss Jordan.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing today?
I'm good.
Excellent to meet you. And to my guys.
What's up, bro? What's up, bro?
What up, though, Anthony? You good, bro? You good?
Yeah, he gave me a lot of bass. I said, oh. I had to stand
on Los is on one tonight, boy.
You know, somebody gotta be on something. So, Brandon, how are you?
I'm good. Real good.
Okay. Anthony and Brandon, are you two in a good place today?
I'm always in a good place.
That means no.
Oh, no, I'm in a good place. Trust me.
I'm saying as a collective, together as friends.
Oh, to my knowledge, I see everybody. I'm in a good place. We
good. You know, season. Yeah, we good. We good.
Y'all be. So I guess tonight's theme is the be lying part.
Hold on, Brandon.
Everyone is lying. Carlos lied about his weekend. Dustin lied about his weekend. Y'all lying about your friends. I'm about to start lying about my life. Let's just
Claudia, we had lunch recently, me and the fellas. Like we
that's real talk.
That's real.
That's real talk.
Did it go away? Did it go okay? Like, was there any? Did anybody raise their voice? Was it? Did y'all like leave like dapping up? Were y'all cool? How did it end?
Well, I'll say two things. No one raised their voice because they know better. You know. But no, we didn't.
Shot number one tonight. That was the first shot tonight, right there. No one.
Oh, really?
They know better. That was shot number one. Go ahead.
Anthony is firing shots.
Keeping the minutes. Go ahead.
Anthony, you firing shots? You firing shots tonight?
Well, I guess that was a light one. Wasn't nothing major.
Okay. Well, you know
what
what?
What did you say? I missed it.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't nothing major. Brandon clever. I like when Brandon shoot when he fires shots.
Oh.
Well, a lot of shots were fired, and this is good because we got Dustin and Claudia who watched the finale. They have a lot of questions they want to ask. I'll just kick things off. So what we saw this season, Brandon and Anthony, was the fact that there seemed to have been two groups when it comes to the friendship amongst the guys, right? You had Bravo and Brandon on one end, and then you had Anthony, and I'll say, Marcel on the other end. And I felt like Russell was always in the middle, sort of like navigating both worlds. But Anthony, you did make a very strong statement. This is YouTube, and certain words have to be censored. So I won't say the actual D word where the K is not in silent. But you did say that you thought Brandon and Bravo were pretty much eggplant writers. And I would like to know, kicking off, this series of questions, why did you feel that way? And do you, as of today, do you still feel that way?
No, not as today, but that really was shots at Bravo. If you listen to what I was saying during the season, I was like, Bravo usually don't act like this. I said, but he be hanging with Brandon a lot. So I was really taking shots at Bravo. It really wasn't directed at Brandon. I was really trying to get on Bravo head, like, dude, you switching up a little bit. I done known you a long time. And I was just calling him out.
Definitely sounds like a shot at me.
That was a shot at you? That you feel that way? You weren't even. I wasn't even paying attention.
You say he's acting a certain way because he with me. You know what I'm saying? Well, how I be acting? How am I influencing Bravo?
Oh, you was influencing him, bro. And
that was gonna be my question. What was the difference that you noticed? What was the difference that you feel like you peeped, Anthony, in Bravo?
I'm gonna say it like this. Anytime it's a situation, when you out here, you want to take out, like say if you get in a fight, you and your guys running up and y'all get in a fight, you want to swing on the toughest one or the certain one first. And I look at it as they're just trying to take me out, and it didn't work. You can't take me out. I'm still gonna shine. I'm still gonna do what I do, and it is what it is.
Why do you think they're trying to take you out?
He's trying to help his friend out. They're trying to gang up on me, but it never seems to work.
Can I ask you a question? And this is not trying to be shady to you. Do you feel left out of their friendship? Like those two are like pretty close. Do you want to like be the three of y'all closer as friends? And do you feel left out? Because you said that he always sides with him.
No. I see Bravo all the time. It wasn't nothing like that. It was nothing like felt left out with the friendship. If we want to see each other talk and kick it, that's cool. But I knew what it was, and it's cool, and I handled it.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
What is it?
Yeah, like you said, I know what it is. Like you're saying like I know what it is, and you're like kind of like because if you don't clear it up tonight, right? People are gonna get online and they're going to come up with their own theories. So it's best that it just comes out of your mouth and we can just get it.
That don't bother. Yeah, that doesn't online doesn't bother me. But what I was saying, this is clearly how I say it. It was just more of a situation that we joke around. I was coming at it. I take shots at folks. I was having a lot of fun. And it was all like, dang, he on our head. Bravo said it. And so it was like, okay, we're going to get him. It was just something like that. It wasn't nothing else to me. That's all it was.
Wasn't that deep. Who you didn't take no shots at was Chelsea. And when I tell you that was a master class in patience, I was cracking up watching that damn scene when
I
she
like
stood up for the
Chelsea,
podcast.
though.
I know you do. And that's
Chelsea
why I
is
can't wait for
funny.
y'all to get over that hump. Because that's the two of y'all, you and Chelsea, on the same side of the fence will
Yeah.
turn this show upside down. So next
Chelsea
season, that's
is
something to think about.
hilarious.
But that
Chelsea
was
is
funny.
hilarious.
Yeah. You wasn't
Chelsea-
having it though, Anthony. You shut it. Look, I know how to get somebody up off my property. I know how to do that.
I'll be honest with you. The reason why I didn't go back with Chelsea, I got respect for Chelsea.
Yeah.
But it was like, one thing I'm gonna do is, me and Brandon had a conversation about it. I said, out of respect to you, I'm not gonna do it. And
That's
then
cool.
Christina talked to me. I talked to Kim. The wife talked to me, and I'm just like, all right, if y'all see it this way, I chill out on that, because the
Yeah.
way I grew up was, you see how y'all guys were just doing it with Claudia. That's how
Yeah.
me and my friends are. We
Yeah.
all take shots at each other and jokes and whatever. So I didn't look at it as deep, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
Brandon, how do you feel about what Anthony is saying? Is it pretty accurate? Do you agree, or do you disagree with like how he's framing things or explaining things?
As far as Chelsea,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I do feel like, because we pretty much made a pact that we wasn't really going at women season 2, because after the Kobe Cat thing and then the Bird Chelsea thing, we was just like, yo, we can aim to smoke at the same gender. And so I think Anthony was just kind of like sticking to that pact that we made.
Mhm.
I mean, I still feel, I wanted him to apologize to her, but we didn't get that out of him. But he also stood on his ground and didn't, he didn't really address her. And,
That's cool. Yeah.
But how did you feel so Anthony, your wife, LaToya, referred to Chelsea as ghetto and felt that her actions were ghetto and pretty much doubled down on it. And in Toya's defense, she also said it to her face, which, if you're going to read somebody, you're going to read to the face. So your wife did do that. Based on that comment, Twitter did have very strong opinions on your wife's usage of the word. She's not here to defend herself. She may be here next week. Hey, Toya. I'm sorry, Dr. Thompson. But based on that comment alone, and I want to get your thoughts on it too, Brandon, a lot of people felt that calling Chelsea ghetto was elitist.
I didn't view it that way. I look at certain things, we're going to respond differently because I'm from the inner city. I came up in public schools. She's from the suburbs. So we view things a little differently when it comes to certain things as well. So I could say something. I might not look at certain things ghetto as she might look at things ghetto, but I know that she was smart to jump on Chelsea immediately because you don't know what Chelsea going to say. So you got to kind of come in, and I think she was making sure, let me get my point across. Let me say what I'm going to say, because I don't know what this girl going to say. So I don't really think she meant it to try to demean her. I think she was just saying that the way that she displayed herself to her was ghetto.
And what do you think about that, Brandon? Do you agree with that?
I mean, we know that Dr. Thompson is like probably the most bougie of the group, and we do know that Chelsea is probably the most street of the group. So her calling her ghetto is like, it didn't shock me at all.
I hope we're not getting to a place in society where we can't use the word ghetto. That's one of my favorite. Like, I like some things are ghetto.
Yeah, I'm ghetto. Yeah, happy.
Right, we all have our moments. Some things are, you know what I mean? Some things just are. And I feel like a lot of times people make more of it than it really needs to be. And
But if we both ghetto, it's cool. But if one is not ghetto at all, and then you call somebody else ghetto, you probably gonna feel a way about it.
I can see
I
that.
think it was mostly because she was supposed to be there on business as well, and then the way you behave, and you're supposed to be there on business. So I think that was like one of the reasons as well.
To me, that's a room full of Black people having a conversation, using a word or a euphemism almost amongst our community, part of our vernacular. We say that. Dr. Thompson was not using that word in a way to demean or diminish Chelsea in that scene, in my opinion. I thought what was much more deserving of our focus was what Kobe said to Chelsea when she told her the group is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're not in it. I thought that to me was that was a determining, that was a determination that was made in that moment. And that was more defining as far as someone's place amongst the cast or amongst the group to me. So fuck the ghetto shit. To me, I would have rather shined a light on her being told she wasn't a part of the group, the friend group that mattered. Kobe was 9 months pregnant and in the heat of a very vulnerable state that we all can have some grace for. So I understood her wanting to express herself. I just thought, wow, nobody's going to talk about that. That would have gotten my focus in the moment.
I get tired of him holding Kobe back because Kobe can go, and she's quite entertaining as well.
Yeah.
We have a comment. I want to read it and see what your reaction is. Fly High Forever says Chelsea wasn't ghetto. Latoya and Kobe just think they're better than her. All Chelsea has done is speak up for herself. What do y'all think about that?
I don't think that none of them think they're better than anybody else. We all see each other. We all at certain events. Like everybody is doing a thing on a certain level. Might not be the same level, but it's still on a level that's above the average. So I don't think anybody was trying to do that. I just think that they were trying to get under each other's skin. I think that was just the name of the game. Like, I'm sick and tired of you. I'm tired of you showing up. You don't address her about anything. And Christina, I feel Christina like, look, I'm gonna let her turn loose on y'all. Y'all be, she be feeling like I'm dolo, so I'm coming for y'all. So I'm gonna let her come for y'all. So it is what it is. Everybody can hold their own.
And Brandon, I'm sorry, Dustin. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it made for a great scene. I think Chelsea's honesty is refreshing amongst this cast, right? And of course, when people are different, she's in a different stage of life. We're talking about mothers and wives and stuff. Chelsea appears, to my knowledge, as a viewer, to be a younger single woman. It's just a different station in life. So sometimes there may be different lenses that the conversation is being viewed through. That may kind of make that static, but it made for a great show. So I think that that was something to appreciate for a viewer. And from my view, I don't think anybody left out of there bruised up, or emotionally beat down. It was just, little shit was talked, and everybody was able to be adults and move on. I actually enjoyed it. If I'm being honest.
Chelsea. Listen, we love Chelsea. Chelsea is fantastic, and you will see Chelsea. Excuse me. You will see Chelsea at the reunion. Okay, and she gets to address everything. So that is, I believe, part 2 reunion. So make sure you guys watch that. Part 1 reunion does air this Saturday. Brandon, your marriage to Christina has always been a talk of the show, just based on the fact that since season 1, episode 1, you two were very transparent with some of the issues that y'all face in your marriage. Come season 2, you guys still was so transparent with the fact that you did move out. We saw you move back in. And when you guys were on a staycation, you made this very powerful declaration at the dinner table where you pretty much gave your wife her flowers. And within that moment where she teared up, you did mention that you did ask for a divorce 4 times. Christina was on our show last week. She said it was actually more than 4 times that during the period of your marriage that you did mention a divorce. Talk to us about where you were in that state in terms of you and Christina's marriage, to where the word divorce is mentioned multiple times. And women do feel like when a man says that, he already has 1 foot out the door.
It was only 4 times. Now, like, I asked 4 times. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe saying talking about it, bringing it up, it might have been more than 4 times, but like literally getting to a point where I'm like, yo, I can't do this no more. That was 4 times.
I have a question. When you asked for that, right? When you brought up divorce and that's a lot. Like that's do you really mean it when you ask for that, or is that sometimes people fight like that, right? Like they go to the extremes. It's not like I'm mad at you, I'm just not going to talk to you for a day. They go to the extremes of it's over. Did you really feel like you wanted to be out of it, or is that how you like fight?
No, that was like out of just pure hopelessness. Like I got to a point where I was like, I don't think this will ever work. So I got to that point several times. but I wanted it to be like, mutual, like every time I say it, she's pretty much like not with it. And so it's like, I didn't want to just go do it. And like, I wanted it to be like, if we're going to go our separate ways, I kind of wanted it to be a mutual thing. And so I never really acted on it, but I meant it every time. Like I got to the point of just pure misery and just couldn't, just don't feel like how I could even like go another day.
Because she mentioned when she was on here that like that would happen, that she would kind of be like walking on eggshells a little bit every time. So do you feel like that's like not manipulation? Because like who says, yeah, I'm manipulating someone? But if you could go back and do it again, would you handle it that same way? Or
I mean, if I knew she was gonna be like, fighting against it, no, I wouldn't have brought it up. I would have just, just kept trying to thug it out. But yeah, I didn't realize the damage it really did until I watched season 1, because it is a big deal.
Yeah.
But I really was in like dark places when every time I did that, and like saw no hope.
That's real.
See, all the times we talked about it, when you mentioned it, I really thought she was exaggerating a little bit until we watched the show back. I really didn't know that it was that deep. Like, I really didn't know. Because being a person that's been married this long as I've been married, we get frustrated, and I think about the kids. I think about the whole makeup, because it's not just us. You talking about in-laws, you talking about different sister-in-law, brother-in-law, family members. And I'm just thinking about, you really got to be in a really, really dark, deep place, especially because you're not in an abusive relationship or anything like that, to say, okay, I'm at my wit's end. I want to just be done,
Brandon, what do you say to the? I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, because like Christina, she'll always say like, okay, it's not abusive and nobody cheating, like, and so it's like no grounds for divorce. But I'm like, yo, like we gotta have some kind of connection. Like living as roommates is like, when you live as roommates, it's like all mids and lows. It's no highs. So you going like stretches of months, years without feeling any kind of high. You know what I'm saying? Like you just like, yo, I'm about to crash out in this mother.
Where do y'all stand now?
Well, we'll get to that.
I have a question
after the reunion.
I have a question for Brandon. I want to take advantage of this opportunity while we have you, because there's been a resounding, like overwhelming response from some of the viewers who feel like you haven't handled like the way you speak about your relationship with Christina with care, or maybe you've been honest to a fault, right? Which I think is great that you've expressed your state of mind, your feelings, your emotions connected to us. And it seems like that's the emotional quotient is what you're identifying as the void or the missing piece, that connection that you speak of. But there's a lot of people who feel like, even tonight, I'll say, when you said like, well, when I said it those 4 times, I meant it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that feel like you speak about it in a way that doesn't really reflect like love or concern. What do you want the viewers and the people who are like listening to you speak about it right now? What do you want them to know about how you feel about your marriage to Christina, the time y'all have spent and are spending together, and where y'all are now? Like, what do you want people to know about how you truly feel about it? Because sometimes our words can kind of betray us, and we don't always get the opportunity to just kind of lay it out there. So what do you want people to take away, Brandon?
I mean, I feel like I wouldn't change nothing I said, because it's literally exactly how I feel. But it's just that like marriage is it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my whole life. It's hard as hell. And me and Christina just came into this thing with 2 totally opposite ideas of what this was going to be. You know, we met on Twitter in January. We got married in June.
Wow.
So we dated while married, and while we were dating, we just found out that we just saw the world completely different. We was raised completely different, like different interests. And so, and then, you know, it's like, as it played out on the show, it's like, I feel like the way I was raised was kind of like weaponized against me. And so that messed with my confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking I think I was raised great my whole life, you know, and then boom, like, you know, your parents didn't equip you with and so it's been real tough. And so like I got married to do it for a lifetime. But I definitely got to the point where I was just like, yo, I can't like it's hard to freaking breathe in this mug. You know what I'm saying?
Before we move on, and we're not going to stay on this so much longer. I know we're like putting you on the spot for a long time. Let's leave on a positive note with this. Can you tell me something good about your wife?
Yeah. She's just really dope. She's just a really dope person. She's a great mom. She's fun. She's a good singer. Really good singer, despite them comments. No, she's like very, very, very talented, like multi-talented, and the world is going to see how talented she is. Like, I feel like real soon.
I'm sure she appreciates that. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and I'll say this. Look, when I created Love and Marriage, I didn't realize that when it comes to the challenges that married folks deal with, each marriage is very different based on the two individuals. And there isn't one rule book where people can say, you have to do this. Just like there is not an instruction manual that one gives when you have kids, there's advice, and you can read all the self-help books in the world, but no one can prepare you to be a parent. And what I've learned throughout my years doing Love and Marriage is the fact that it is very challenging when two individuals make one, and it's also difficult to drown out the noise of other people telling you how your marriage should operate. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I recently did an interview with Kirk and Rashida, and before y'all read me, everybody's marriage is different. But one thing that they said to me that this is a true story. I left the Rashida and Kirk interview feeling empowered just by this, that you have to do what works for you. When Rashida said that her husband cheated on her, had a baby outside of the marriage, everybody around her was saying like, leave. And there were a few close friends of hers who said, make this work. And she is happy that she made it work. That may not be your story or someone else's story, but what I loved about her saying that was like, that's her story. That's her and Kirk's story. That works for her. It may not work for 99.9% of the world, but it works for them and they're happy. And I applaud them for that. And I applaud you, Brandon and Christina, for giving the audience the real reality of what was going on. The fact that y'all met on Twitter, 5 months later got married. Y'all were trying to get to know each other during the marriage. And look, we'll see what happens when it comes to the state of marriage. But what I will say is, at the end of the day, what that marriage did provide was two beautiful girls. Mm-hmm. And regardless if the marriage is forever or not, I think you two should be happy with the fact that you two were able to provide a life and a home for two beautiful girls. And as long as you two remain intact when it comes to that, the marriage is going to be what the marriage is going to be. And that's why I always tell people, you cannot tell people how to be a husband or a wife. It takes two people who are committed to each other to figure it out. And oftentimes they don't figure it out, but oftentimes they do. So my thoughts and prayers honestly goes to the two of you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that being said, Christina has a new single produced by, thank you, Anthony. I did go to school for this, but so Brandon, talk to us about Christina's new single that is out today, because we want everybody to pick it up on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your music, download it. R&B music is making a comeback. But Brandon, let everybody know where they can find this music and what type of artist Christina is.
So the song is called Final Destination, and you can find it on all platforms under Christina Bowman Smith. And if you really are Team Christina, go to the iTunes store and get it for $1.29, so she can get on the charts. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get on the charts. So go ahead and purchase it for $1.29 if you really want to, show your support.
We got you.
So I wrote the song. I wrote like 90% of the song, and she wrote like the end of it. And it just was like and my boy Luname produced it. He's from Detroit. And it's just basically a story, literally, of what we went through in season 2. It's like, yo, what are we doing? What are we doing? Am I your final destination or not? So it's basically the hook says, it's a yellow light. You can stop or go. Please just let me know. Hit the gas. Let's go, go, go. What's your hesitation? Am I your final destination? So the song is a bop. She's an R&B artist, and I don't know what Christina is about to do after this. I don't know if she's gonna be doing more songs or not, but it was fun working with her on this, and I'm glad that people get to hear what she really sounds like, because she was very nervous at that Roses Are Red performance at Bravo spot on the season finale. Because when you were in the building, it sounded good. In the building, it sounded real good, didn't it, Anthony?
They're talking to you right. They're talking to you right now. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay.
Anthony.
I was buying the song, by the way.
Appreciate you.
I'm getting
Christina, my girl, she really talented.
I will say, Brandon, I do like that during the performance. Of course, you could tell she was nervous. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. And there were people that said it sounded better in person, but you did go to her at that moment and give her props, whether you thought that was true or not. You did support her in that moment, which I think is very important to, have her back in that moment, because that's a vulnerable thing to do, to perform live in front of not just the people in that club, but all of us and our commentary. So
no, it's infinitely difficult to perform. Like singing in the studio is one thing. Getting on stage with these nerves and this loud music, this microphone, and people looking at you, you got Kobe staring at you while you're trying to perform,
Here we go.
What does Kobe got to do?
I mean, how Kobe just be looking,
Oh, stay off her. You already know. Don't get your bones broken.
What is wrong with you, Brandon?
All I'm saying is right after the performance, like her and Kobe clashed heads. So I just was like, but I'm saying it's difficult. It is difficult with people you've been clashing with in the room. It's hard, and then it's very hard. I do this for a living, so like she gets all the props in the world for doing that on a national stage. So
yes.
100%.
Well, thank you, Brandon. The song is dope. Anthony, so Anthony has a podcast. So before I let you go, Anthony, let the world know where they can subscribe and download your podcast.
Yeah, the Culture Conversations podcast is on YouTube at AT Network, and we're filming season 2 right now, and also a live show coming soon.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Anthony and Brandon, I love you guys. Thank you guys for always being excellent force multipliers on Love and Match Detroit. And y'all can catch the first part of the reunion this Saturday, 8 o'clock, 7 Central on the Oprah Winfrey Network. And do not forget to purchase all the Christina fans that she has. I forgot the fan club name she gave them. But like Brandon said, it's $1.29 to support her, buy the music so that it can chart. So instead of leaving me a super chat tonight, Raindrops, use that money to purchase Christina Bowman Smith's song that is called, what is it called, Brandon?
Final Destination.
Final Destination, and I just purchased it myself. All right, Brandon, Anthony, I love you guys, and I'll see y'all at the reunion on Saturday.
Thanks,
Season 3 on the way. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
I was trying so hard to throw a life raft. I felt like I was watching the Titanic, and I understand how Jack felt hanging on the side of the little piece of wood, just trying to hang on for dear life. We kept trying to throw safety.
We tried, because sometimes when you talk about things you care about, you get caught up sometimes in your expression. You can be too honest sometimes. And I just wanted to give Brandon the opportunity to say it differently. So
that's the reason why you all gotta watch part 1 reunion on Saturday. But listen, the night is still young. We have another lady joining us. Claudia, are you ready for this?
Of course.
Dustin, are you ready for this?
Been ready, yes.
Yes. All right. So, ladies, gentlemen, gays, and theys, okay? On today's episode of Reality with the King, we have a very special guest. She is somebody who I just love to love. And I know that she may be somebody that y'all may love to hate, but it's all good because she doesn't care either. Give it up for the Real Housewives of Potomac former star, because she left the show, my girl, Mia Thornton.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, Mia.
What's up, Mia?
Hi, Claudia. Hi, Justin.
How you doing?
Hey.
Y'all
Hey, Mia.
out of smack.
What'd you say?
It's all good. It's all love.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
How are you, Mia?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm down in Atlanta, as we all know, right? So, been my PH. I'm living my life. Got ink back. So, kids are here. Gordon's here. So, we're all good.
I think you should get on Atlanta Housewives and take Brittany's place.
Claudia, wait. Well, first of all, I don't want to take anybody's spot, right?
Well, if there's a vacancy that opens up.
I appreciate it.
Because I think you have more stories to tell.
I do. Thank you. I appreciate that, Queen. So, I honestly feel like, I stormed out of that reunion because I was done. I was like, okay, enough is enough, right? Like, let me get back to life. I came here because I've always been an entrepreneur, always wanted to develop my businesses. I only agreed to do reality TV because I wanted the platform to use as a marketing engine, right? And then I was like, this is kind of like interesting. So let me go for it. But then when I got to a point where I realized that it's not really all about our businesses, mess. How much mess can one girl take? So I don't know. I don't want to come down here and be a whole bunch of mess. So y'all, they can come down here and they can come into my businesses that I am developing. I'm developing a new franchise concept. So if they want to come in here and spin around and do what they need to do inside and let me go home, I'm good with that.
Well, let's kick things off because we're gonna have a real conversation. I love you. And I told people that, listen, my opinion sometimes gets me in trouble with the girls who I love. And I did let the Raindrops know that Mia Thornton sent me a very nasty DM. And I responded by saying, here's my number, call me. And Mia called me. We spoke for 1 hour. Mia let me have it. I received it. I gave her advice as well. So again, you could disagree with somebody, but Mia, I'll give Mia all her props. Mia picked up the phone and called me. And not only did she cuss me out on behalf of her, she cussed me out on behalf of the entire cast. So I want the world to know that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right, Mia?
Really?
I did.
Oh, the true story.
I think a lot of times, like, you just gotta say what you gotta say to get your point across. And I go straight to the source. I didn't want to be a he shay. I didn't want you to hear third party. I was like, let me just call him right now and let you know how I feel. Now you can do what you want to do with it or not, but at least you know how
She said that.
What was it about what Carlos said that made you the maddest?
Oh my gosh, Claudia. So it was okay. Do you remember the colorism that was going on Potomac? That allegedly that the world just we were all colored, like all. It was just terrible. It was a terrible narrative. It's not true. I hated it. I hate why it was happening. And so I was like, and then I feel like if you're watching the show, I could see why people came to that conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to realize that we all know reality TV is an edited version of our reality, right? So if there's bits and pieces that are missing that are really pertinent to the bottom line, then yeah, okay, we're gonna come to a conclusion that maybe that's what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
And realize that we were at fault for what someone else had put together. Like they you know how it goes, Carlos, right? Like you film all this content and you put it together and you tell the story the best you can, but sometimes there's some really key things that get left out. And there's a lot of times there's some things that never get filmed that needed to get filmed to really tell the real story. So Carlos was perpetuating that, that narrative. And I was like, wait, as we know in our communities, if we continue to like carry that narrative at the top that don't look like us, they run away from it. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to touch on it. They're just, just put them. We're going to cancel that platform. We're going to do that. And I said, we can't say we support Black women, but we're also going to perpetuate that we're not supporting other Black women. So, and that's pretty much the gist of the conversation.
Yeah,
right?
no, and she articulated herself, and she made a point. She said, listen, you have a huge platform. She said, to see you tear up, I teared up, but I needed you to know that we all feel that that's not the case, but we understand why you would feel that way too. But I'm calling you on behalf of the girls saying that ain't what it is. And that's why I love Mia. And ever since then, I've always said to my audience, Mia is a real one, because it's what she said earlier. She saw something, and instead of going online, she called me directly and said, let's have a real conversation. And that's why I will always respect you and love you for those reasons. And even when we saw this past season, you had your feet to the fire when it came to the paternity of your son. And what I said to the audience was, look, that's her reality, regardless if it's right or wrong or indifferent. That's listen, no shade. That is for us to judge, because we're viewers. I said, but you leaving the reunion, and you're here to answer that, right? I said I felt like you had enough because your motherhood was being in question. And I said, I'm not a parent, but I can only imagine that a mother having her motherhood be questioned, there's only so much she can take. Is that the reason why you decided not to just leave the stage, but you left the building, hopped in the black car, and went back to your hotel room?
I was out of there. And I wasn't going back. And yes, there's one thing that I always say that I know I got right. I know I'm a phenomenal mother. I have these beautiful children who are thriving. And that's the element that I never want to ever, in any room that I walk in or any friend circle, to ever be a question. So, and I made that very clear to these ladies. I said, this is a topic that I'm not willing to allow you guys to scrutinize or to attack. And they saw it as an end, right? Because they like, okay, so that's a part of her that is she's not willing to dive deep into. I'm not willing to do that. You know, going through a divorce is already hard. Going through a divorce on national television, forget about it, right? But then also too, Gordon sat there and told the entire world that he has mental health problems. So can you imagine like that? Like I'm like my real life is in like every day we wake up, like what's going on? And I didn't feel like I had the support. And so I was like, you know what? This no longer serves me. And I'm grateful that I'm in a position that I can walk away and get back to business.
Looking back, like, I'm sorry, I mean cut you off. Looking back, you know, hindsight is 2020, and I get in the moment because I remember the next 15. I don't want to come to the reunion. I stayed at home. I was like 3 hours late because I had enough of certain things that were triggers for me. Like, listen, don't talk about sexual assault or abuse because I've been through some shit and I've already told the world this. So don't keep digging at that one thing. So, you know, and at the end, I am glad I went because I got to like stand and speak for myself, right? Do you regret, like, now that, you know, time has passed and things have cooled down for you, as far as emotion wise, I'm assuming, right? Do you regret leaving? Do you wish you would have stayed and got some, like, said some things, or are you still happy that you left the reunion?
No, I stand all 10 size 12 toes down that leaving the reunion was the right decision to do. Okay. Like, I knew already, I already didn't, right? But I was like, I'm gonna show up because I'm gonna show up for the girl. I'm gonna show up for something that I committed to do. I'm gonna see it all the way to the end. But I quit in the middle of the season. And a lot of people don't realize I also did my season 9 contract. And so like I was kind of like, it's no longer serving me. I'm no longer building out these businesses inside of this market. Time for me to move on to another market. I was holding on, as we all know, when you hold on to that are expired space, it doesn't work out well. Another thing people don't realize is that I was also on a cleanse very fast.
Mia, I want people to be able to hear what you're saying. You're going. Do you guys hear her going in and out?
Yeah, your phone is breaking up. Your mic is going in and out.
We're only hearing like half, and I don't want to miss what you're saying.
Can you hear me now?
It was a
Right,
bad
we heard
connection.
that, yeah.
Are you have your phone with you, me, or your laptop?
Both, but it's my phone. Can you hear me?
Oh, it's better now.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Are we able? Do you need your laptop on?
No, I can turn it off. Okay.
Yeah, because maybe that's interference.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, much better.
Much better. So
being a Wi-Fi being a little hater right now in this very moment. Like,
no, it's all
yeah,
good.
no. So I want, like Claudia said, I want the world to hear you. So can you repeat what you said in terms of Claudia's question?
Yeah, no. So what I was saying is that, like, basically, you know, I was already in an expired space, right? I knew that I was like filming the season and everything that went down in the kitchen and everything and how the narrative of what was being followed in the story that, you know, everybody wanted to see, that wasn't the story that I wanted the world to see. I wanted the world to see my reality, and it wasn't real. It was a moment where Gordon decides to flip the script on everybody, and then we have to follow the flip of the script, right? And I said, no, just be normal, be real. And I think a lot of times people also don't understand is that would I have ever allowed for Gordon or Ink to be in the same room on cameras if they weren't getting along? They have been getting along for almost a year. So I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I will agree with you guys to allow my soon-to-be ex-husband and the love of my life to be in the same room because they get along and we have traveled together, we've celebrated holidays together. There hasn't been any animosity. I think that's a beautiful thing for the world to see.
We didn't see
really
none
do.
of that. We
What's
didn't get
that?
to see none. Well, we didn't get
You
to
saw
see
none of it.
that. So if you're
Right.
saying your intention for what you brought to the show last season was completely different than what we saw on camera as viewers, I can understand your decision, because what you're describing to us right now is the polar opposite of what we experienced watching your story play out on camera. That's the total opposite.
Yeah. And so for me as a mother and as a wife, I've been a wife for 12 years. could you imagine being scrutinized for something that you've done so well in? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? For a platform to say, no, that's not interesting, but this is. Let's play on this man's mental health since he wants to flip the script and he want to be mad. Okay, so that's it. And I'm like, but that's not my reality. That's not how I live my life. That's not how I parent my children. So while you guys think it's amazing to have ratings, what about my real life? You know what I mean? So I'm here to do reality TV. And I think it's more interesting to see Gordon and Ink kikiing because the two of them together is actually really funny.
Mm.
Like
We never
Well, the
saw
thing
it.
is this. The thing is this. If you're saying because if you're saying that you felt like Gordon flipped the script, right? So that's not at the fault of the production, right? Because we can
No.
only follow what we're being shown. And listen, Gordon admitting because one thing I did say was you never brought up the paternity. Gordon did, and that was the case. So I do think in their defense, though, Gordon, and listen, I don't know Gordon, and I hope all is well. I mean, clearly he is there with you, so it seems that you guys are in a great place. But it was Gordon out of his own mouth who questioned the paternity, who said, and not last season, but the season before that, when he talked about this ain't the state fair or carnival, if you want to be fair, or something along those lines. So do you feel like Gordon, is the reason why the world decided to judge you as a mother and your castmates because he is the one who brought it up?
So I'm not gonna put all the blame on him, right? Because I think it's not, there's like a lot of different elements. I think when he decided to do the TMZ interview, I have to take the blame as well because when they called and said, hey, we want to pop these cameras back up, can we come into your house? My first answer was no. But then I had this commitment of, but he really did do the interview, Mia. This is what's really going on with him right now. So, and then also too, I know that it would have it contributes to the bottom line, right? So I go, okay, you guys can come back. So I have to take fault in that as well. Like I'll take full accountability. I was, we allowed the cameras to come back into our home after we were finished wrapping. In hindsight, I wish that was a poor decision on my part because I feel like now I'm better equipped on how to handle him as he's aging and going through this health crisis. Like I'm better equipped now. So I would have said no. Like there's no way I would ever allow that to happen. I'm very protective over him right now because I understand that he has also in therapy vocalized that the cameras are triggering for him. Gordon cannot do reality television, right? So while it may be good for me, it may be good for the kids love the cameras. They love it. It may be good for Ink. It may be good for, my businesses. It's not good for their father. So I have, like, as a family, we have to decide, okay, well, how do we navigate around that? So I'm not going to say it's his fault. We all know what we're dealing with.
So that was my next question. Then, if you were open to the reality of like their experience, of being on reality TV again in the capacity of being a full-time cast member on any show, fuck just the Housewives, like whatever show you decide to do, would you include Gordon as a part of your package that you present to the show, or would you not decide to bring him along for the ride this time?
So, well, he's a little bit of a loose cannon, y'all. So I don't know if I don't want to say yes or no because I don't want to feel like I'm controlling him, right?
Okay.
So if he says he wants to do something, he can do it. Would it be what my preference? Absolutely not. I have moved on with my life. I have so many great things going on in my life aside of Gordon.
Yeah.
I have this amazing man. We're building out our businesses. We're living in the sky. We see all of AT. Like we have so much going on that I feel like living in that expired space of moving, I'm getting once I get my divorce is final, there's no reason to go back. And that's another thing. You guys never got a chance to meet my oldest son's father. Production obviously wanted to meet him because we have he's my best friend. So we talk all the time. We have successfully co-parented our 17-year-old son. My son is amazing. And production every season was like, so when are we going to see your ex-husband? When are you going to see your ex-husband? And I'm just like, he's an expired part of me. Why do y'all want to go backwards? There's so much more to me,
But the viewer is like, I get it. You have to do what's best for you. But the line of the night from you tonight is my husband and the love of my life. I was like, oh, girl, tell me more. I don't care. Tell me more about husband and love of my life in the same room together. That is interesting to me.
Exactly. So it was funny. Like I was just having a conversation with Ink last night, and we're actually, we're working on a lot of different projects. He's in radio, and he has his own show here in Atlanta. So he was like, you know what? He was like, I think it might be time for us to do like a sit down with your ex-husbands.
No, we don't need this. Oh, okay. I thought you
No,
were Gordon.
your ex-husbands, meaning so my oldest son's father, because we're all sitting in here kicking and chatting it up with the kids running around. The world needs to see that at some capacity for it to be inspirational, aspirational for our fathers out there who may not be getting along with the others. You know what I mean? I think it's a beautiful thing.
I do think it's beautiful in theory, and I think it's congratulations to you all for having that sort of peace and harmony in your home. But I don't think that's a responsibility, a burden you have to shoulder. I think that you have a great personality, Mia. I think you're funny as hell. I love seeing you engage. You work very well amongst an ensemble cast of strong women. Very well, very pretty. And we want to see that. We would love to see you on your Boss Mia shit, running your new businesses, your new business ventures, taking over Atlanta. We like that. You don't have to teach. No, you don't have to. We can just close that chapter. You know what I mean? Let's just move on. We don't need to see. We don't need to see him and Gordon sitting down. And although your blended family is a great formula for you and it's working, let's just leave it there. You know what I'm saying? And we just get
I'm intrigued.
Have fun.
I'm intrigued. So admittedly, I haven't watched as much as I should, but the bits and pieces I've seen and what you've said, like, I'm intrigued by that part. Selfishly, though, as a viewer, but then also as knowing what it feels like, I get it. But that's kind of player Himalaya type shit, though. I'm just saying.
I mean, Mia don't be lying, okay?
Mia be pimping. Mia
be standing on business, okay? And that's a part of staying on business. I have to make sure everybody, the household is together. Everybody has to be calm up in here, okay?
So Mia, you left Potomac, you left it behind. Do you still keep in touch with some of your former castmates? Like, have you recently spoken to Giselle, Ashley, or Wendy?
Now, Carlos, you know the answer to the first one. Okay, ain't no one talking to Jahel. Okay, she like the devil right now. So, anyways, but I have So I've talked to Stacey, right? Because Stacey has called me, and she actually was calling me because she wanted to invite me to some parties. And I was like, Stacey, you ain't get the memo. You know I'm not in Potomac anymore. And she's like, wait, what? She everywhere. I said, girl, I am not coming to any of y'all's parties. I love you. I would love to support you, but I'm not coming on those cameras. But let me know what you got going on outside of RHOP, and I'm there. Love Stacey to death. I think she's a great addition. I hate that I'm not there to help her out. I think from the looks of it, she might need a little help this season. But I think she's gonna be okay. She's gonna be okay. Wendy has texted me, yes, because we got that. She's a wife, she's a mom, she's a business person, so she gets it. So she's just like, her text was, definitely spirit led, and I appreciate that because she knows the season that I'm in right now. And yeah, the rest of them, they keep putting me in the group chat that I don't want to be a part of. Please take me out of the group chat. Okay.
Wait, are you still in the Potomac group chat?
No, in theory, meaning we're part of all of their interviews, and they have not so nice things to say. And I'm like, if you can't call me and tell me how you feel, stop talking about me, okay? Like, y'all should have other things going on, but I forgot, that's how it's been. What Mia got going on, So I wish them the best of luck. I really do. I really want them, anything that I participated in, I want it to thrive. Like I was there for 4 years. I came in, I spun around some rooms. That season is done for like I sold my businesses, y'all. So it's like, why am I there's no need for me to be in the DC DMV area any longer. I'm in ATL, submitting these LOIs, getting it on and popping. That's what I'm doing.
That's good. Well, I'm glad. I don't. I think that your exit. It sounds like it came at a perfect time for you in your personal life.
Yeah.
It's always refreshing to make a new pivot. And I'm not one of the people who believes that being a part of the Real Housewives of any city is like the be all and end all for your career. If you have other aspirations, you've talked about wanting to do work in radio. I think that talking and being a voice in the media space, so you'll do well with that. So I want to see you to get successful. I was just sick of that Gordon and Ink shit, to be honest with you.
But no, Dustin.
But
Dustin,
everything else, I want to see
Dustin,
you do well.
you were sick of one more thing too.
What? Oh, that blonde, yeah.
Well, Dustin, let me tell you,
But that's just a
was
personal
blown on
thing. You look
Friday.
so good with that black hair. You know what I'm saying? I think it does you well.
I put her on just for you, okay?
Thank
Just
you,
for
baby.
you.
Thank you, Mia. See, Mia
But I was
be
blown on
yeah.
Friday, swinging around my daggone bull.
Okay. That's all right. That's all right.
I appreciate y'all's honesty. I really do. And I think it's important to say that I know y'all be talking a lot of smack, but you're doing your job. Okay. And continue to do your job and continue to do it well. And I think that if we live in a world that you can't be transparent and say how you really feel, then what are we doing?
Yeah.
So I respect it.
Thank you.
Facts.
Well, thank you, Mia. And look, I will say this. We have seen you twirl around Atlanta. We saw you hang out with Shamia, with Kelly, as well.
Yes.
On some real stuff. Honestly, you are in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
There are people who say you're more fitting for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. But if you did have to choose, would you rather be on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta with Ink, or would you like to, even if it's a friend role, would you accept a friend role on the Real Housewives of Atlanta or a full-time role on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta?
So I'm gonna say this, okay? Nothing against my Love and Hip Hop girlies. I love what they doing. Child, I wouldn't survive a day. Okay. I'll be like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't know how to fight, y'all. I'm big, and y'all think I may know how to fight. I don't know how to fight, like for real. Okay. So I want to, I'm definitely, I don't know where they got that from. I think they obviously put me in Love and Hip Hop because Ink is in radio and he does the hip hop station. I don't know where that came from. I'm just being, whatever. No, all support. So when it comes to Housewives, absolutely, that's a platform that I agreed to. A lot of people don't know that I was approached to do reality TV a lot before agreeing to do Housewives of Potomac. I had said no 4 times to other networks because it wasn't aligned with what I wanted to do. And when the Housewives came around, I was like, all right, well, let's go take it on home, right? So if I were to have the opportunity to come over and hang out with these girls in Atlanta, I love them to death, y'all. I really, really do. Like, they're my kind of crew. They know how to have a good time. They look good, and it's the energy. They have good energy, and I'm an energy girl. And to answer your question, Carlos, I would accept a friend role because quite frankly, that might be better for like where I am in my life. You know what I mean? I can host a party or two of my new talks, and get these girls' bodies all together and pop in, get my auntie. Well, I'm not going to say auntie, but there's a few aunties on Atlanta.
Who's
I'm not going to say who they are.
Which one's the aunties?
I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna
Yeah, you're in media now. You one of us. Come on.
There's a few seasoned ones who like to spin around and they add positivity. They put their 2 cents in. I have a feeling I'm probably not gonna be able to be world peace for long because that's just not who I am. But I would agree to do it. I would.
Okay.
Good to know. I can see you as a friend of. And Cynthia Bailey has shown that being a friend is a great thing. So
That's right.
Mia, listen, you are a brave woman. I love you. You stepped on Monday Night Live with the Dustin Ross and the Claudia Jordan. So I'm so happy you said yes to this as well. Now, before I let you go, you do have a lot of ventures. We did see something you promoted over the weekend. You were laying down. Ink was standing up. The height proportion was fantastic. A lot of people wonder if that was on purpose, but nevertheless, can you please let us know the many things you have going on, because we want to support you, Mia Thornton.
Thank you. Yes. So I actually am developing a new concept. It's a franchise called The Talks. So we're doing lymphatic drainage. I'm going to get everybody detoxed in ATL. And so I'm doing I'm going to do 2 studios here for now, and then I'm going to build them out. And then also too, so the post that you're talking about is the House of Mia Moore. So it's at my influencer space that I am finally agreeing to move forward in. It's been something that has been an offer for such a long time, but it's not anything that I didn't have the capacity to do. So now I have the capacity to do it. And then Ink, we have a couple of projects going on together. I think that coming off of RHOP, like we went into it where I wanted you guys to get the love story. And since Bravo had other agenda plans, we're still going to give y'all that good old love story. So when I'll invite y'all to the wedding. And when we have a baby, I'll take you along that journey, because I promise this man I'm gonna pop out too. So we got lots going on.
Are you and Ink trying for children together?
We're gonna have children, yes.
Are you going through the process of having children with Ink right now?
I'm gonna say that the process is gonna start real soon.
Well, congratulations. We love that, Mia. And listen, we would love to see that on TV someday. So keep your phone on, and you may get a phone call by somebody, whether it's a peach or
I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, no, we definitely, I promise this. You can't say you love a man if the man wants kids and I don't give him some kids, honey. Okay.
Well, good. All right, Mia, I love you so much. Thank you so much for hopping on Monday Night Live. Tell Ink I said hi. Tell Gordon I said hello as well. And give my love to your beautiful children as well, baby.
Love you guys.
Much love to you,
Bye.
Love you, Mia.
Bye.
That was
what
nice.
a night.
Carlos, are you proud? Justin was very well behaved.
Yeah.
So
Justin
we were very kind.
It's not personal. We do commentary and we have strong opinions, but it's not, we don't hate Mia. It's not, she ain't did nothing to me. We don't know her personally. So of course we're gonna be professionals and talk to everybody that comes on here. She was very pleasant. We had a great conversation with her. I enjoyed her.
I love her. My husband and the love of my life. I was like, oh.
I know, Claudia, you're like, where did I go wrong?
I know. At the same damn time, future.
She sounded like Ghost. Remember when Ghost told Tasha, please, I just lost the love of my life for crying. It sounded like that.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Just do your thing, Mia. I want to see her have boundless opportunity. I just was really tired of that Gordon Ink shit over them kids and all of that. I was sick of that. So
yo, the raindrops, I've been watching the comments and they've been catching me. They reading. The raindrops are hilarious. I love the raindrops.
I love the raindrops. No, I do this for the raindrops. The thing is this. The reason why I love Monday Night Live is because, to me, listen, I'm going to say this and not take it back. I think Monday Night Live is the best live show on YouTube because you never know what you're going to get.
Never.
It's unexpected. I tell you guys all the time, Dustin and Claudia and I do not talk before the show. I hit start the live stream and we say hi to each other. And the fact that we will always have special guests on that we can talk to for you guys to, get some information. But Mia will be the first of many surprise guest raindrops that I'll have for you on Monday. So miss an episode, you miss a lot.
Yeah.
Now, we have to get into the most recent episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. To all the raindrops who I love that dragged me last week up until Friday, 5:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, child. I love y'all.
They dragged you, Carlos?
Oh, I dragged so much last week that I was trending on TikTok.
All right.
And a few close friends of mine texted me and said, Carlos, your facial reactions is the funniest thing. So listen, it is what it is. My raindrops know that our relationship, Claudia and Dustin, is what Mia said. And what Dustin said. My raindrops know they can keep it real with me. And I'm never going to take it personally. But yeah, I got dragged. But hey, it's a new dawn. It's a new day.
That's right. And you're feeling good. That's right. Okay. That's right.
I tell you who is feeling good. That damn Cynthia Bailey. And hear me out. Dustin clocked it last week. And I would love to get you and Claudia's thoughts on this. The first maybe 7 minutes of this episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I had an epiphany, not only as a producer, but also as a viewer. And I'm going to say this, and this may be a very controversial statement, but I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. Cynthia Bailey's performance in the first 7 minutes, plus throughout the episode, but let's start with the first 7 minutes. She has proven that being a friend to the show should be something that all OGs should consider. And I mean that. And when I say that, I mean this. I think if you are an OG, I am not interested in your personal life anymore that warrants you to be a full-time cast member. Cynthia has proven that she has like this den mother role that is so satisfying to watch. And at the end of the day, reality TV has changed. And I'm not going to spend tonight talking about that. Reality television has changed. And the OGs of Housewives or reality TV, they're no longer going to give us their reality like they used to, because the world has changed. And Cynthia has even said it that she's never going to give us what she gave us with Peter Thomas. It's never going to happen, right? Every former housewife, if you want to go back on Housewives, Carlos King advice is this: accept the friend role. Cynthia is doing it perfectly. And I'm going to say this statement. I cannot see this season or the rest of Atlanta Housewives franchise without Cynthia Bailey.
Let me tell you why. I'm sorry, Claudia. Go ahead, friend. Go ahead.
I won't be long. I won't be long. I wanted her to check Brit more last week, but seeing it all together, the role that she's taken, I'm wrong. I tip my hat to her. I like the way that she is handling these girls. She's not putting too much on it for the people that she likes more than the other. You actually can't even tell who she likes more than the other, because she's actually being extremely fair, extremely neutral. Even though I'm the Cynthia that we all know, I'm sure in her mind she's like, now you acting a fool, but she's letting them breathe. She's letting them be grown women, putting the two ladies in the room together so they can work it out. And chef's kiss to Cynthia Bailey this week for doing that. And she's so needed, because there is a little bit more ratchet this year. Okay, let's call it a thing with a thing. Okay, and she balances it out. She's bringing common sense. She's bringing maturity. She's bringing, I don't know, brains. And we can't just be on 10 all the time. We've discussed this before. It makes it boring if it's one note. And I really love the way she handled the girls this week. I thought it was amazing.
I agree. I think that Cynthia has redefined the role of a friend on the show. And I'm going to tell you the difference. The difference is Cynthia did not, she did not, what's the word that I'm looking? She didn't settle for a role as a friend. That was her intended role on the show. She could have had a larger role on this season of the show. She wanted to be a friend of the show because that was the capacity she wanted to exist in amongst the cast. And that's how she's performing. She's performing on the show as if she's secure, happy to be there, fully confident in her role, and she's not doing what friends of the show often do, which is try to set off all the fireworks to get promoted the next season into a full-time role. That's why it's refreshing to see her like this. She's coming on the show, not angling to be messy, not angling to be memorable in moments of conflict. She's literally being a friend. She has a seasoned element to her participation this year that makes us feel safe and comfortable watching this show full of new personalities and new stories, and it just works. I wish that people would kind of take ownership in their portion of the show and just be there in it, because that's what Cynthia is doing. And as you can see, it's making for an incredible watch. So kudos, Cynthia.
Claudia, you want to say something?
The petty part of me would be, you know, but you should be you should be holding Brit a little bit more accountable and Porsha a little bit more accountable, but that's not her role right now. Maybe later on that change. It's not her role. Her role, there's enough of that that's going to be going on amongst the girls. I think where she is best for her mental health and for her sanity. You know, that's a lot of work that's a lot of responsibility to take on your back to, okay, well, I got to right the wrong between Kenya and Brit. Not really a job. I mean, yes, I'm sure Kenya would like to see more of that from her friend, but it's really not a job. And then to fix this stuff over here with Porsha and whoever else, it's not really a job. But I do like setting the other girls up to then they can have the conversations. What do you think, Carlos?
Oh, I agree with you 100%. This season is a very special season because it's the first Real Housewives franchise to do a soft reboot, right? Bringing in 4 new faces and bringing back at the time 2. I like to call them not OGs. It's another word I like to call them.
Veterans, right? Aren't they
veterans? Thank you. Because I'm old school, so OGs means season 1. So I call Kenya and Porsha veterans, right? This season, and I'm telling you guys, I sat on the couch last night, watched the episode live, and I really am at this place in my career where I just want to try something different because I feel like everything is such the same old BS. So when I was watching Atlanta Housewives episode, it inspired me because it showed me that when you have a cast that is disjointed, to your point, Claudia, where the norm is what I called Dalbert Garcelle and Sutton, and I was right, the alliance, where you're my friend, so be on my side, right, wrong, or indifferent. Every single reality show needs a Cynthia Bailey. You need somebody who's like, I'm not here to pick no side. I'm on the side of making sure we can all coexist. And I have never seen that in my history of watching reality television. And shout out to the production team on Atlanta for choosing Cynthia Bailey to be that. And it really dawned on me as I was looking at the future of all reality television, but I'll settle on Atlanta because we're talking about that. There are conversations about should Nene come back, should Sheree come back, should Kim Zolciak come back. I'll say this, being somebody who worked with them season 1, I would love to see all those girls back, but I would love to see them back in this den mother, fairy godmother way. I would love to see Nene come back and sort of be a den mother to these girls. The only way these girls in this episode, Claudia and Dustin, would have gotten together in the same room, you needed Cynthia. If Cynthia was not there, not one of those girls will be able to say, okay, let's meet up. And that's why the role of a Cynthia Bailey, often underestimated, however, should be duplicated.
100%, because when they won't talk to each other, they'll talk to her. So she's able to be that bridge, and it makes for a much more easy show for us to watch and interpret. So love it.
And because she's not carrying a peach this season, right? She's not seen from the younger girls as a threat or competition. So it's like, oh, they may think in their minds, and she's just a friend of the show, but no, she's actually helping your storyline. I gotta say something. I know a lot of people think I hate Brit, and I know I come for her because I don't like how she's carrying her. I don't like her character on the show. But I will say she did do something in this episode, which was not my favorite episode of the season. This was my least favorite episode of the season. I'm just going to just let you know right now. It was not my favorite my favorite episode. I thought it got a little too stank in a lot of parts, even though Cynthia was doing her best to hold together. But there was still a lot of mean girl energy in this episode that I thought was just over the top, too much from people that I did not expect it from. But I will give Brit this. I did like, and maybe she's, I did like this. She did have a scene that didn't have anything to do with Angela or Kenya, and it was quite refreshing. When she was talking with her family, she showed some emotion. It made her be more human. It made us get to know her instead of just beefing with everybody. And I know I'm hard on her. Listen, y'all should know me by now. I'm Aries. I'm 52 years old. I'm from the Northeast. We just say what the fuck we think. There is no filter. It may come off rough. It may come off harsh. I don't really care if it does. It's my honesty. It's my truth. It's my opinion. And I stand on everything I say. But she was tolerable in those moments and actually way more interesting than just popping off. And that's one note. That is very one-dimensional. But when you give us a little bit more, we can almost understand why you have triggers or why you behave the way you do or why you pop off, because it makes more sense. But if you just give us this one note of always it seeming like you're trying to steal the scene by getting a read on someone, we're not feeling that. But
this is funny that you say that, Claudia, because this is why I love talking about this show with y'all, because you're 100% right. My takeaway was kind of like the opposite, because I had a revelation when it came to Brit on the show this week too, but mine was the opposite. I was much more empathetic to her the past couple weeks, and I kind of, when she was talking about the Kenya situation, it made me feel for her. But this week, when I saw like the way that she was being combative with Angela on the couch at Cynthia's Bailey Q, this week when I saw a couple of other conversations she had, I just noticed like, okay, maybe there is a little sharp edge here that is persisting throughout each scene that she's in, when she's in group scenes or when she's talking to these ladies. I started really picking up on the mean girl shit this week when it comes to Brit. You know what I'm saying? Specifically Absolutely. Her. So we both had revelations this week. Mine was just a little bit on the other side. Like this week, I was kind of like, okay, Brit does have a penchant toward conflict with these women. And when it goes there, when she has a disagreement, she does kind of jump the shark a little bit. You know what I'm saying? With her reactions to them. I saw it this week. So
maybe I should reword it, because I agree with you on that. Like it didn't make me like her.
I know what you're saying.
But it made me be like, okay, you're giving us more than just every single scene. It's just that, like, you're fighting. It does give you that she doesn't really get along with a lot of people, including family, friends, other women. The only person it seems like she kind of gets along with are men, her husband, and he got the bread.
See, that's okay. I'm glad you said that. That's why you're so smart, Claudia. I watched the scene with Brit and her family. First of all, she's beautiful with no makeup. I love seeing her without makeup. A fresh face. She was beautiful without the makeup. As I was watching the scene, I thought her grandmother was hilarious. I love her grandmother because I think all of us who have Black grandmamas, she read and she meant what she said, and they all shut up. As I was watching it, and this is me being honest, in the moment, I wasn't as connected to the scene. And I sat there and I asked myself, like, why is it hard for me to connect to this scene? Because we are seeing her family members, right? And I kept like, I really hit pause because I wanted to sit in it and be like, why aren't you connecting to this scene? Because I'm the king of personal story. I love personal story. And then it hit me today, which is why I'm glad I watched it last night. It hit me today that the reason why I felt disconnected with Brit's scene is because I felt like there's so much more that's not being said that really what you said, Claudia, can possibly explain some of the behavior, because it is evident that there's a lot of strong female energy in her family. And maybe Brit is at the place in her journey to articulate that to us, right? I do feel like Brit does have issues with females. And I think a lot of that has to do with the relationship she has with her family members. And it hit me today that what I wanted for Brit in that scene, which is no fault of her own if she's not there yet, but it would have been nice for her to articulate that this is how I grew up. This is the dynamic around me and other women in my family. And because of this, I don't have a lot of female friends because as y'all can see, we don't hear each other. And I felt like that was the missing element. Again, not Brit's fault, but that's the reason why it was hard for me to connect to it, because I felt like I'm seeing it, but I'm missing an emotional attachment to it.
I also think, I'm sorry, go ahead, Chloe.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I just think that Brit, excuse me, I shouldn't say Brittany. I think Brit was but her name is Brit Edie, so when the iteration of it,
yeah,
saying Brittany. But anyway, I think that she was very aware that the cameras were rolling in that scene when they were packing up her mother's house. She seemed performative to me in a way where she was trying to present herself as the peacemaker amongst her crazy family, quote unquote, or her wild family that's willing to show all that on camera. And I get it, but I think that that's something we can attribute to this being her first season on this show and her not being 100% transparent in front of the cameras. On a positive note, I think that she has a family that is very willing to be transparent on camera and show their personalities, which that's always a valuable currency amongst the housewives world, right? And I think that there's also a lot of layers there to unpack from a production standpoint, and ways that we can get to know her outside of her being in conflict amongst the women on the show, right? So maybe if she comes back next season, once they start digging into that family, I think that her sister Cher, and I think that her mother, and I think her sister that also has been distant from them through the grief, I believe her name was Tiara, those three women have a story to tell. And I think that Brit just kind of scratched the surface when she mentioned that they were employed in her insurance agency, and when she decided to sell it, they were no longer employed by her, and it created a rift in their relationship. I think there's a lot more to that they all seem to be willing to share on camera. So that may be something good to see coming from her if she comes back for another season. But in that scene, I felt like, okay, she's doing what Shamia did in her very first scene, when she came in and greeted the family and the bags were staged on the counter and all that stuff. And she even said that they had practiced the scene the day before they came to shoot or whatever. So I think it was just—
She said that?
Yeah, she said Shamia was honest about that. She said they had been practicing, and that when they came to shoot, her husband pulled out the driveway. She said that in the interview. It was actually really funny. But yeah.
I think Brit may be a victim of her own perception, like perceived so prettiness. Like, I'm so pretty, you know what I mean? And she's a pretty girl, right? But let's be real. She's definitely an insecure woman because she did a lot of things to herself. A lot of things. She did a whole remodel. I liked my house when I got it, but I didn't love it. So I put in new walls and new ceilings and new fans and new walls. I painted it and changed things up. It was cute, but I didn't love it. I think she always was maybe putting a lot of attention and a lot of energy on her cuteness. And that ends up making you a mean girl sometimes. And that also makes you be a type of girl that is not good with other women. And I think it shows a lack of depth with her, with even you guys both saying it was very performative with the family. I agree with that. I think she's very surface. And I think if she would just let go, you know, Carlos, when actresses come on the show, they can't really let go because they try to control too much. I don't want you to think this about me. I don't want you to think that about me. So I'm going to give you exactly prepackaged what I want y'all to think and know about me. But times have changed. Like, now flaws are more attractive. Like, we want to hear like, what made you be so bitchy? What made you be such an asshole? Because even there is some beauty in that. If we can get a story that makes sense to us, right? Or that is real, or that is authentic. It did seem like the family was more willing to be forthcoming than she was. Yes. It still feels like she was still, you know, like, and Brit, you got to stop putting all the ills in your life. Everything that's gone wrong in your life is not because of your looks. Sometimes, and I think people use looks, colorism, and a couple other things to excuse maybe sometimes a shitty personality. Sometimes that has nothing to do with looks or your color, your skin tone. You're just an asshole. And not just saying her, but people in general. I think a lot of times, well, it's because I'm this. Everything in my life is because of this. No, you contribute. There's plenty of beautiful women that are likable. You know what I mean? There are. And Brit, I think the reason why it felt so performative with your family and we didn't get pulled in like we should, because you waited too long to give us this. And you've been on the show for, I don't know how at this point, how many months y'all were filming, and we haven't really seen anything of depth from you. Just surface stuff. My looks. I'm a baddie. I'm a video vixen. I'm this, I'm that. I'm hot. My husband's rich. I'm going to the car dealership and I'm not buying anything, but I'm going to floss. everything's image. So if you want to come in and it's episode 9 and finally give us something, it's feeling a little bit kind of like it's falling flat because you're kind of rusty at it. You know what I mean? You're kind of rusty. Like we're just like, a little bit too little too late. But I would like to see more of that if you want to salvage the
Oh, I would love, I would love to see more of that. And listen, maybe she doesn't control obviously where the scenes get placed, but I will say this, and this is a call to action to all new reality stars, housewives, whatever. If you are in a relationship and you sign on to do the show, the only way we're going to get to know the real you is if we're able to see some slice of life of your relationship. Shamia, who I love Shamia. I felt Shamia started off strong. I feel like Shamia is losing a lot of the audience. We're not seeing a lot of Shamia's personal story that made all of us instantly fall in love with her in the first episode. We got to see, Gerald. We got to see her amazingly beautiful daughter, and we got a chance to see her home life. And to us, Shamia was presented as like this African princess. And I don't know where we're going with that. I would love to see her and Gerald have conversations. We're not getting any of that. Yeah. We're not getting any real conversations with Brit and her husband. I would love to see Brit tell her husband, I'm about to go to the Cynthia Bailey thing. Child, Angela Oakley got beef with me, baby. The way we saw with Angela. And you new girls. The reason why Angela is winning the game as of today, because you're only as good as your last episode. If you're not giving us home life, we're going to be checked out. And I'm concerned about the rest of these girls because it's only so much shade and read and all that we can get. We want to see personal story. And Angela Oakley is giving us her husband, who's a legend, and we get to see her husband talk about the trip. We get to see her download her husband, how she gonna be, and he's like low-key telling her like, you're doing too much.
Yeah.
That's why we love Angela. And without seeing some of that, when you girls have husbands who are on the show, y'all gotta dive more into that than in the rehearsed reads that your glam squad give you on a post-it note.
Yeah.
Very disappointing. Shamia came out the gate super hard, and it wasn't like she was trying. She just was existing and being dope, being fabulous, and we vote and totally out of the shadow of Porsha, holding her own. But I think it's easy to fall back into, comfortable roles. Like, she's always been a support for Porsha. Don't know if it's the other way around. It seems like Shamia is at her detriment, being a support for Porsha. And I feel like there's a couple times in this episode that if Shamia would have gone this way instead of that way, she could have not claimed the number 1 spot, because I think Angela's so far ahead of the girls now, but she could have got more in the mix. This is what the one scene, I think, the one part. Shamia, you are a happily married woman in a successful marriage. That your marriage, we don't hear drama about your marriage. Your girl's wrong. And sometimes we have to have these uncomfortable conversations. If you would have checked Porsha in a loving way, the way friends do, and told her, look, yeah, we was drinking. Yeah, you're not feeling no girl, but I got to put my foot down. As a married woman, that wasn't cool when you said about, be careful before your or Angela's husband. If you would have done that, it would have been like respect. And maybe it's time for you to do it, but I feel like by you not holding her accountable, it put you in a secondary position and not an A level. It kind of put you on the B team, not the A team. And you have everything you need to be on the A team. Shamia, you do, but you gotta be fearless when it comes to telling your friend that she was wrong to say that about another woman's husband, whether you like the girl or you don't.
Yeah, well, for me, speaking for me, because I agree with everything you all are saying, but overall, when I zoom out big picture and look at this season, I'm having a great time as a viewer. I still feel like Shamia is running the show. I feel like she's in charge of the girls personally. Although we haven't seen her husband, I think she's been very open, even on and off camera, about his lack of motivation or desire to participate. And I think that we got what we're going to get from him. You know what I'm saying? He shows up to the big events. He says hi, whatever, and that's it. So I'm really not even looking for anything else from her. And she supplements her place on the show and her interaction and engagement with the other ladies with this really robust personal story about her taking care of her daughter and now meeting the new surrogate, her anxiety about starting that journey. It's just different. And I'm enjoying what I see from her on the show this season. I'm actually having a great time watching this season. I'm really, really enjoying it.
It's a great season.
I am. I'm having a great time watching this season, and I'm enjoying these ladies on this show. And it's been a long time because I really hated season 15, and season 14 was not my favorite either. And so this, for me, season 16 has been such a return to, not even a return to form because it feels so new. It doesn't feel anything like the old school Housewives that we all know and love. So I don't know. I'm enjoying it, and I'm just gonna let the rest of the season play out. But I agree.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah,
no, the season is great. The season is great. The thing for me though is if I'm seeing more of your husband on YouTube, then I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. And it is the reason why I made the call to action at the top of this recap in terms of how Cynthia is killing it as a friend of, because she doesn't have the pressure to be like, let me give you my whole life. Right. And I'm gonna say this and I take it back. The Real Housewives of Atlanta was built off a personal story. There will be no season 2 if it wasn't for a Greg Leakes, may he rest in peace, right? Greg Leakes helped us also fall in love with Nene. Nene was the breakout star. We loved her, but Greg Leakes also helped that situation. He was the voice of reason, right? You had Peter Thomas and Cynthia, Phaedra and Apollo, Candy Todd, like we're no longer getting these women signing up to do the show. And listen, I don't care if y'all disagree with me or not. Cynthia Bailey said this publicly, and so I'm not saying anything she said privately. These husbands don't get paid. So because of that, Cynthia Bailey, along with other girls, and it's their story to tell, I'm not going to spill their own tea. Cynthia Bailey had to pay Peter Thomas to film because he wasn't getting a check. But Cynthia Bailey also knew this is an investment in our future. Yeah. And in order for my storyline to be great, I need my husband. And a lot of these girls at the time also did that. So I don't want to get into this pattern like I saw on New York City Housewives, where you have what's her name, Dustin?
Brit.
No, the fashion icon.
Oh,
New York City Housewives.
Jenna Lyons. Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that Jenna Lyons, Claudia Jordan, Jennifer Lyons is a lesbian. She has a fiance, and you will never see her on the show. But you see her mama.
And
I don't want. So the show is called The Real Housewives. It's not called Single Ladies. Shout out to Beyonce, Lisa Ray McCoy, Queen Latifah, Stacey Dash. Like, if you are a married woman and you're on The Real Housewives, I need to see your husband every other episode. I'm sorry, I do.
Agreed.
I don't think it should be, well, he don't want to film. Well, he films on your YouTube. He films on TikTok. He films on Instagram Live. Yeah. So when you fall in love with the Angela Oakley, and I'm gonna say this, and I'll take it back. I think a lot of the girls are gagging that Angela Oakley has become, as of today, the fan favorite, because I'm gonna tell y'all why. She's giving us the entire picture, and you girls gonna have to start doing that. So let's talk about.
I hate how the girls are all ganging up on Angela except Drew. Cynthia's not.
Oh, by the way, not to cut you off, Claudia. I'm so sorry.
No.
And Drew Sidora is doing a stellar job because. And listen, I don't care to hear anyone say, well, my husband does not want to film. You got wrapped in the basement near the mice traps, okay? Filming. And he's doing interviews. And they're at the courthouse. And he is giving commentary on the road. And they are estranged. Give Juicidora some props that she is even giving us her estranged husband. So excuse me if you have a problem with us being like, you are married with the ring and we don't see your husband, but Juisadora husband trapped in the basement, we get to see him. Shout out to Juisadora.
Yeah, don't show us the car dealerships, the jewelry, the houses, the luxury, the things, the items that you got through your marriage through a wealthy man, but then not show the relationship because you're doing yourself a disservice. We're absolutely bored. Whenever we see Brit's husband, don't even know his name because he's not really that much of a presence on the show. He just gives kind of like assistant, kind of sounding board for her for a little while. Then he seems checked out. It's like whatever. We don't really see the chemistry. We don't really get much about their relationship. I love that one time when he kind of tried to hold her accountable in the parking lot with the gun gate. But other than that, we haven't seen anything. So it's like yawn boring because you're giving us one note. And that the Angela, Oakley, and Drew, to me, are the stars of the season. I want to see their storylines because they're the only ones that have them, that are not dependent on arguing with somebody else. Whether they are arguing with the girls or not, they still have kids to raise and husbands to feed or to avoid in the foyer of their homes. You know, like that's interesting. And I don't like, again, the reason why I didn't like this episode, it was very Mean Girl ganging up on Angela. It kind of felt like how they used to do Kenya. They all be 5-on-1 to Kenya back in the day before Kenya got a couple friends on the show. But it just seems like I don't see why they're hating so much on Angela when I don't feel like she's a troublemaker. I feel like she just doesn't let them punk her and she stands on business and she gives what we want to see. So I don't know why they're being so mean. Like it seems like every scene is, you know, Angela talking shit about her every single episode, scene. And it's kind of getting a little redundant. It is. And I feel like she's being put in a corner to have to read the girls down because they're talking shit about her when she's not around. Then they're blaming her for hearing them talk shit about her, which is ridiculous. Like they are gaslighting her left and right. That's what they're doing to her.
I agree. I love Angela. I think she's taking it like a champ and showing herself beyond fit to be on a show like this, right? She knows how to kind of define her space on this show. She was, somebody that a lot of viewers did not see coming as far as like moving to the forefront of the fandom, right? And who people becoming a fan favorite. People didn't really see that from her when we first met her, but damn it, I guess she showed our ass because I love Angela Oakley. I have been thoroughly enjoying Angela Oakley and her closed mouth smile that she has when she's talking shit and waiting her turn to return serve. I love everything about her. And I do understand what you mean, Claudia, when you say that there was a mean girl kind of element to this show this week, because the insults kind of did get a little bit over there. You know what I mean? And some of the things that Angela heard them saying about her were not related to, indiscretions or things that had happened between them as cast members. It was opinion based. Oh, I don't like how she dressed. Yeah. She looked old, so that I can get how that can feel like mean girlish. I understand what you're saying.
Well, if I overhear girls talking about me and one even saying they want to F my husband, and then I go confront you about it as a grown woman should in the moment, don't wait months to talk about the girl behind her back, go address her. Maybe maybe I didn't hear you correctly. There's nothing wrong with that. But to go ahead and gaslight me and say, well, her Inspector Gadget ass shouldn't have been listening and she was all being nosy. Y'all was talking about her. You got over her because you were loud and drunk. And then when she come check you, don't blame her. I hate when people do that. Say, you know what? My bad. We were talking trash about you. Not I'm sorry you heard me because you investigated. No, that's not an apology. That is not on your grown woman stuff. Like people want to pick and choose when they want to be grown women. Be a grown woman across the board. And you can blame it on the alcohol if you want, but I'm sorry. Saying you want to screw another woman's husband and there's other women there that are married or have been cheated on and they didn't check her or say anything about it or stand up in that moment. You can still not like Angela if you don't want to, but on girl code alone, that should be a no-no. I have a friend that messed with a married man before, and we had a very serious conversation about it. I do not play that. As much as people want to put that shit on my name, I've never done it and never will. And I have to hold my friends accountable. It's a very uncomfortable conversation. But what happens if you don't speak up? People assume you're all about that life. And to me, all those girls that sat there, and I like you, Kelly. And I like you, Shamia. But y'all should have said something when you sobered up, because it wasn't cool to say that and a little empathy for Angela being upset, because she's absolutely right to feel a way about that because it was wrong.
But props to her, right? Because you see, Porsha has taken her issue with Drew from episode 1 to episode 9. The conversation Angela overheard was showed to us in episode 8. And in episode 9, we've already seen her have 2 conversations to resolve it. Not resolve it, but to come to a common ground and be able to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Angela for even being willing to do that, because I think there's some other cast members who would have been like, no, I'm not talking to her. And it would have gotten dragged all the way out into something that we didn't even give a fuck about no more. So shout out to Angela. I think she's doing a great job this season.
She is, because it's what you and Claudia are saying. She clocks it in the moment and addresses it in the moment. And that's all you can ask for, right? So we do see Cynthia have this Juneteenth. I can't talk. Juneteenth. Thank you, Claudia, the journalist. Juneteenth event. Hey, Tisha. Okay, so she had the event. There we go.
I'm sorry.
The fun. Okay, I just have to dial. Hey, Shelly.
That one's 6. 6.
Oh, that's 6. Hey, 6. Okay. I have to give, once again, Cynthia's belly cues are always the best events, because something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. I will applaud Angela for coming to the Lion's Den.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people caught this, but so Angela said she overheard the ladies on the Nashville trip call her Big Bird, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if Angela did this on purpose, but Angela came in yellow. Mm-hmm. And when I saw that, for me, I was like, I think Angela low-key is trying to clock y'all like, in my Big Bird now, I have on yellow. She looked gorgeous. So I don't know if people caught that, but I caught it instantly, like, she's wearing yellow as a nod. Yeah. Y'all call me Big Bird. Let's talk about it, because she likes to confront things head on. But the conversation, or shall I say confrontation, that she had with Brit, Angela Oakley, the star that you are. I don't know anybody in the moment like that. But it's what Claudia always said about the best reads are the ones where you take what someone is saying to you and you flip it, right? Claudia always said that, like, those are the best reads. I'm going to take what you said and I'm going to flip it.
It's not rehearsed. You're reacting in real time.
Yes.
Yeah. That whole comment about Brit saying, oh, she's using her mouth now. And then you see Angela goes, not as much as yours. Okay. Because you got stretch marks on yours. Okay. Oh, I do. No stretch mark. Girl, the miles on your mouth. She stood there. Brit gets up. And I thought about you, Claudia, last night. I said, oh my gosh, Claudia is right. Whenever Brit is in confrontation, she physically has to be, braggadocious, if that's the word, in her presentation.
She's unhinged and she's not in control of her emotions.
Yeah, but to see how Angela sat there and clocked it and did it so smooth and suave.
With a smirk. I love a smirky read. I love a smirky read, because whoever is in control of their emotions in an argument is the winner.
Absolutely.
You lost.
Yep.
Oh, not as much as you. Not as much as yours. Now, stretch marks. She won. Hands down.
I agree. No notes, Angela. None. Great episode, Angela Oakley. No
Brit keeps trying, and like you got to know when you're out of your league with Angela. You're never gonna win an argument with Angela. We've seen it's episode 9 now. You're not gonna win that argument because you're not in control of your emotions. Until you get control of your emotions, Brit, you're never gonna win an argument with Angela Oakley. She's 2 seasons. She's too in control of her emotions. She's probably heard it all before. She's been married to an NBA player for a very long time. This is not new money that she just got 2 years ago. She's used to it. She's probably used to the groupies coming for a man, the lies, the rumors, some stuff that's probably true that she's had to deal with and put her big girl draws on. She's seasoned. So all this like standing up, low vibration. Oh, really? Yes, you lost the fight the moment that you lost control of your emotions.
Angela's wittier than her too. There's that. Brit hasn't shown herself. We've seen her in multiple confrontations with these women verbally, and she's yet to impress me with any like witty retorts or quick comebacks or memorable insults. Like there's been nothing. So it really makes the moments of confrontation fall flat for me. You know what I'm saying?
That's Dustin, you're right. That, you know what? I didn't even think about that. And Claudia, you're a wordsmith and you're a comedian. And I want to get to that before we get into the Porsha and Angela one-on-one that Cynthia maneuvered, because I want to get your thoughts on that. I do think that's what it is. It's not a lot of wittiness coming from that direction, right? Shamia, to her credit, is funny. Yeah. I think Shamia is witty and funny. I think Porsha's witty and funny. I think Kelly has her moments of wit and fun. Angela obviously has understood the assignment. I mean, Drew asking if Brit sold the cat it to her face once again, and then took a sip of her Diet Coke. You know, I do think, to your point though, if we could see more of the funny wit, not more so in the confessionals, I like it in the moment. Yeah, and I do think the episode could have used a lot more of that, to your point, Claudia, like really seeing more of those funny retorts back and forth. But Cynthia Bailey decided to get Porsha and Angela in the same room. How did you guys feel that one-on-one went down?
I think that Porsha's been consistent with her disposition in relation to what she was overheard saying. She don't give a damn. And she I don't know how many different ways she could say that to us. She don't give a fuck. Angela heard her say that. So what? You know what I'm saying? Like that's where she's at with it. She's like, we was drunk talking shit, and I know you're mad about it. I don't care. Let's move on. And the problem with that is that Porsha has refused to move on with not just this conflict with Drew this season, but several other things over the years. And so hearing her expect that in return from Angela feels a little imbalanced for us that have been watching her since season 5 on this show before she took her break. So, I mean, it was the same. Angela, once again, she showed herself as a pro. She was open to resolution and resolve. She was talking it out as best as they could, keeping it real in her confessionals, but keeping it respectful in the conversation. And that's what we want. Now the show can continue to move forward. We're not going to be stuck in a Angela's mad at Porsha over what she said situation for 9 episodes, like we have been with this Porsha and Drew shit. So shout out to Cynthia for putting them in the, what she called it, the profit room. She put them in the profit room. So
agreed. Listen, I'm no fan of girls that are not girls and that are okay and think it's okay to just, make comments like that about another woman's man. And throw it out there. It's not cute to me. It's not cute. It's very low class. And if you already have this narrative about you, you have to be extra diligent about your behavior. I know I have a reputation based on lies. I've never been with anyone's husband. I've never stolen someone's man. I've never done any of that stuff. But for some reason, this reputation has decided to stick on me, because once it's repeated on a reality show with that 4 million people watch, it's hard to get it off you, right? So my responsibility when I'm around other women in relationships that have husbands, boyfriends, I actually feel it's on me, unfortunately, to go out of my way to make the women comfortable. Like I in no way, shape, or form want your man. If I go into someone's house and it's a married couple, I always address the woman and show the woman the utmost respect before greeting the man. It's certain things you have to do. Now, if you don't give a damn and you don't care and you think having a fat ass, long weave, and being cute is enough to you should still like me just because of that, then fine, continue living the way you're living. But if you truly do want to turn a page and want people to stop thinking this way about you, or maybe you want to evolve, then you have to be diligent about that. You can't be so angry that someone's filming with your man, right? Or your baby daddy that there was 2 men ago or 3 men ago, whatever. But then make a comment like this as a throwaway and expect everyone else to let it go and oh, it was just the Hennessy. No, because we had to listen to you complain for about 4 or 5 episodes about Drew. So my thing is, if you want grace, you have to give a little bit. If you want respect, you have to give a little bit. You were wrong, Porsha, by saying that about Angela's husband. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Stop trying to be cute. Stop gaslighting. Stop playing in people's faces and make it seem like it's Angela's fault that you said it. You have a reputation as a man stealer. This is like your fourth time, your fourth allegation, and you not helping it. Just apologize and move on. The best apology is change behavior. I don't care if y'all say I hate her. I don't. But I hold people accountable in my real life and when I do commentary. Like I said, I had a friend that messed with a married man before, and we had very uncomfortable conversations because I don't play that shit. I don't want to be around women like that because they group you all together. And that's what that team of women is looking like that sat there and let those comments be made without checking it, that you were okay with that. It should never be okay. I'm sorry. I'm going to stand by that till the day I die. It ain't cute. Stop doing it.
No, I mean, listen, you definitely have always said that. And I think, look, what I wanted was definitely an apology on both. You know what I'm saying? I agree that it would have been nice to see something heartfelt because you could tell that Angela was hurt by it. And I think for her, I think for Angela, if you go back to last week's episode, when she was in the lobby waiting for her car service, you know, listen, it's never fun to be the odd person out, right? I can only imagine how she felt in that moment, knowing that everybody's talking about you and everyone's laughing at your expense. And then the next morning, you see Kelly coming to greet you and you're still upset about what happened. And I do feel like when it came to Angela's feelings, it wasn't taken seriously. And I think what Angela wanted, honestly, because you can tell Angela ain't somebody, I don't know her. I'm only basing off of the show. But based on the show, you can tell that Angela is somebody who is so mature that all she wanted was like, yo, that was fucked up. I apologize. Let's keep it moving. I feel like that's all she wanted. And I think she wanted that from everybody, right? I think based on how she called them out. You know, at the end of last week's episode, she did say something about Shamia and was it Brit being followers or something? I forgot the exact quote. I think she wanted everybody to say, look, we were wrong. And I do feel like based on her not getting that, I do think, and we'll see what happens for the rest of the season, I think Angela is probably going to have a hard time really cementing a real friendship.
Carlos, you know Porsha more than us. So what would do you think she'll ever really apologize to Angela? Because I feel like it would make the season, it would clean things up. Like it would get it back. Like we're missing this episode to me, the fun. You're not going to get the fun one-liners when people have their real feelings are really hurt, right? So why won't you just like, do you think that she would? Or do you think like...
Yeah, listen, I do. Okay, again, this is, when I say this, because people love to take what I say and run with it. When I say this, I'm not saying that somebody should have done this. It's a reality show. The reality happens. In a perfect world, right? What I would have wanted to see between Angela and Porsha was the moment they were in the one-on-one, and I'm only saying this, and Claudia, you can stop me because you were there in the Philippines when I had to get Kenya Moore and Phaedra Parks to really talk.
And they did.
Am I lying? Because you know, people love to say Carla loves all the drama and the mess.
No, it was a big deal. It was a huge deal.
I set both women and said, I'm over it. It's stupid. You two have thrown shots at each other. And the only way you guys are going to hear each other is if there's nobody around, because let's have a real conversation. When you are on a reality show and there's a bunch of cameras and your castmates are around, some, not all, some people become performative because they got to show off on their girl. And I was very methodical in the sense of I talked to Phaedra and I spoke to Kenya and I said, you two have to have this one-on-one. And the moment they had it, watch the scene, it is season 7. They both cried to each other because it was the first time they were able to hear each other out with no distraction, no interruption, and no friends around them. I would have loved if Angela and Porsha would have had a one-on-one. And listen, I wasn't there, right? And I'm not saying that it could have happened, but it didn't. I'm not there. I think Angela and Porsha, if they were both able to sit, and Angela said, what you said to me hurt me to the core of my heart as a married woman, because that is what I'm hearing about you. That is what I'm feeling about you. And I thought we were on a path of friendship. So to hear a woman that I thought I was building something with make that joke, that shit hurt me. And I do believe, as somebody who knows Porsha, I do believe if Porsha would have heard that, she would apologize. I think what happens is this, and before y'all read me again this week, like I did last week, whatever.
About to, Carlos.
I know it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I think Porsha deserves to apologize. Porsha has to apologize to Angela, because the comment, although I said it last week, y'all don't listen, that comment wasn't cute. And there's no excuses for the comment. I think people get caught up in the construct of the show instead of removing the distraction and saying, you two sit down and talk. And I believe with every fiber of my being that if Angela and Porsha were able to really sit down and talk to each other, and Porsha can hear Angela, I do believe that Porsha would have understood it more. I just don't think they were at the place where they were listening to each other.
I don't think Porsha cares enough to keep it so real with you. I think that what you're saying is 100% right and would have made for a much more like fulfilling, enriched moment on the show. But I just think that they're a new relationship, and I don't think Porsha feels that there's a wrong she has to really right beyond the apology she gave at Cynthia's house. I don't think that's right, but based on what I've seen on the show, I don't see Porsha really motivated to like make that right. You know what I'm saying? I think that she just is kind of like, well, whatever. I said it. We was just having fun. What's the big deal, kind of? But if they were to have the sit down you just described, I think she would be open to understanding it from Angela's perspective more, just like you said. So it would definitely be beneficial. But we ain't get that.
I agree with you. I think Porsha doesn't care not just about Angela because it's a new friendship. I just think Portia's not a girl's girl all the time. She's a girl's girl when it's fun, but when it really matters, like to me, being a girl's girl is easy when it's someone you care about. When it's your friend, it's very easy to be a girl's girl. If you love someone, it's easy to be a girl's girl. You're a girl's girl if you can be a girl's girl and not a snake to someone that does not benefit you. That is just simply a fellow woman out here in these streets. And she showed us time and time again, she doesn't respect marriages. She doesn't respect people's relationships. And if she sees a chink in the armor, she's going for the kill. If it's going to help her, if it's going to benefit her financially, she's going to do it. And yes, I said it. Carlos didn't say it, so don't put that on him. I said it. Go ahead and call me a hater. But I just don't think she's a girl's girl. But sadly, what I can offer as some insight, I know I do this every week, but fuck it. It's going to have to just keep on going. When she is one-on-one without everybody around the cameras, she is a lot nicer than what you guys see. I feel like people do, like Dustin said, they do it for the gram. They put a little stank. Oh, I ain't going out like that. I don't care. Blame it on the Hennessy. But listen, it's impossible if you have a heart to ignore how much you're hurting someone when you look them in the eye and you have a one-on-one conversation. So a lot of times these conversations happen off camera. Philippines, Phaedra and Kenya, I'm glad you brought that up. It was a beautiful moment. Actually, we all got along on that trip. Nene wasn't there, but everyone got along. We hung out. But guess what? It went to shit. When we got back in the States and the episodes are airing and you watch what someone said 3 months prior, but when it's one-on-one and the cameras went off, when I tell you I had fun with Porsha and Phaedra and Demetria had fun with it was Kenya, and it was everyone got along on that trip. And then it all went to shit when we all had to be at the reunion and talk about shit that happened in the last 4 weeks, what we saw on TV. But one-on-one is different. Carlos is so right about that. But unfortunately, it got to happen on camera, right? But I just wish Porsha, for her own benefit, yes, I'm going to keep talking about it until she changes her behavior. She's got to do better with that. It's obvious she's not a girl's girl. She wasn't a great friend to Shamia. She's no friend to Angela. And not a friend. She's not a woman to be trusted. If you can say that, I don't fuck with girls like that. I really don't. I don't think that's cute. I don't. But I wish she would, for her own sake, Has nothing to do with me. I wish she would for her own sake. I hate to see a black woman go out like that when it's just not cute. It's not cute to do that. You know what that feels like. You've been cheated on before, Porsha. You know what that feels like. All of us do. It's not cute to put that on another one. It's not cute. Stop doing that shit. It's whack. It's whack. Jezebel spirit, exactly.
What, you in the comments?
Yes, I am.
Well, I'm about to read the super chats. Y'all ready? Wait, did we? Oh God, it's 4444. Is that an angel number?
Is it?
Or it seems like it.
I know 444 means the universe is protecting you, so maybe it's an extra layer of protection.
It's protecting us from something real fucked up. We got 4 4s instead of 3.
Yes, we got 4 4 instead of 3. All right. So I'm gonna read this because Dustin has a Met Gala after party to go to. Claudia, he's fancy. He's in New York City, and he's hanging out with Cynthia Reroll and
he's doing the A-list stuff tonight.
Tiana Taylor, all the girls, Dustin's fancy child. So Dustin, give me 5 minutes, child, so I can read these super chats, okay? And I'm gonna let you go and party, and then call me tomorrow to see me photos. Okay. So we got Ariel Sparks. So Dustin and Claudia. Ariel is a unisex name, so I don't know if it's a he, she, or they, but they are graduating Friday.
Congratulations,
and they're happy to catch a lot.
Yeah, congratulations.
Okay, Vita just want to send 99 cents, child. We will take it, but also use that money to buy Christina Bowman Smith single. Okay. All right. I will never forgive you.
I remember that one when that came in.
Anyways, was that a?
It's about an hour ago.
Yes, the raindrops don't play.
They don't play. They're so. I love it. All right, Sheridan, Carlos, did you know you created the color? I know. I get blamed for everything. But no. In all fairness, I don't think Mia was saying that I created the narrative. I think she was saying that my opinion is much more value to the world. So when I agree on it, it affects people. So that's what she was saying, my Queen Sheridan. But listen, we got past it. So we're good. Shantae Howard, Mia Belias. Okay. We got Tamara, $5. Angela on this episode gave it to Claudia. Then Nene, I had the shivers. Okay. We got Poetish Candid. Let's have a real conversation. 50 Cent produced that episode. Side note, thank goodness Dustin told Mia we are tired of the Gordon and Ink trauma. All right.
Had it up to
Caribbean Girl 199. Shamia equals big disappointment. Okay. It's a lot of super chats tonight. Miss Sandra ATL. Brit just trying to be in a space she hasn't earned yet and isn't mature enough to handle it. Okay. Coco Esquire. Claudia nailed the Brit assessment. Okay.
Wow, look all the money coming in tonight.
Zena Lateria Hall. I love you, baby. If I mispronounce your name, I'm sorry. Shamia, Britt, and Kelly, either being currently married or have been in the past, should have never found that funny, period. Okay. Andrea Yvonne Mines. Shamia keeps saying she has a problem with Porsha through the entire cast, but hasn't told Porsha yet. But we keep saying she's supporting Porsha. Okay. We got Timber Jones who just sent us a nice super sticker. Okay. Samira, am I the only one who noticed Porsha said yes and her mom grinned so big when she said she received a call about Drew and Dennis filming together? I'm telling y'all, she's using this as a storyline. She cannot talk about Simon. D. Hayden said, not the mouse. Oh, the mice traps. I love you, Ralph. It was a joke before y'all take it seriously. Claudia and Dustin, you want to answer this?
Mm-hmm.
Nick H, early prediction. Who do y'all think is going to sit next to Andy at the reunion? On his left and his right? Claudia, ladies first.
And Angela and Porsha, but it should be Angela and Drew, the only ones giving it up this season. And then Kelly in the second chair.
Yeah, I think Shamia and Porsha are both going to have first chair this season. I
You think so?
It'll be Shamia and Porsha because the friendship we're gonna see some cracks.
Oh, that's right.
They're gonna have a lot to talk about, so they'll be opposing, and there's no way Portia's not gonna be first chair.
Yeah, you're right.
First chair. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be mad at Porsha and Angela being in the first,
I would definitely
talk about them the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all the full couch in my mind. Okay. All right. So on one side, because I think Porsha sits to Andy's camera right. I think. Okay. I see Porsha. If Phaedra is there the whole time, maybe Phaedra. If not, Phaedra will come out in the middle of the season. I mean, in part 2, because she came in the middle of the season. So I see Porsha, Brit, and Cynthia. And then on the other side, that's 3 people. Okay. On the other side, I see Angela. I see Angela having first chair. I see Angela, Shamia, Kelly,
and hopefully Kenya.
Drew. Or is it Drew and Kelly? It's hard. But Kelly, I think Angela and Porsha for sure first chair.
I would love to see that. I would love to see Angela come through like a big dog and get that first chair her first year as a housewife. Would love to see that.
Well, they're coming for every week, so they should, and like, we've been saying in the comments reflected, we definitely do talk about Porsha and Angela the most, I think. And Brit.
Smitty.
Dustin needs to be producer. I love his takes on things. Okay, now, Smitty. Miss Sandra ATL, I started watching when I saw Claudia join. She definitely keeps her opinions real. I almost always agree. You have great insight, Claudia. You keep it up, girl.
She does.
Thank you.
We love Claudia. We love Claudia. Valencia, thank you for that. We love you. Kiki, at this point, I should like Charles.
Charles, hilarious.
Y'all are stop. See, we can laugh at. Listen, Claudia, you take it. I think that's hilarious.
Oh no, they come. I'm definitely. A few of them coming for me tonight because I went hard last week, so I expected that. But guess what? I'm an Aries. I could be 1 versus 1,000. I'm still gonna stand on what I believe. Well, no one changed my mind. I believe it. I believe. Bring it on, people. Bring it on.
There you go. Well, here we go, Claudia. Mama too. Love you, Claudia. Okay.
Right.
See.
Thanks, everybody. I love the big job. They cool.
Kiki, Alex, Angela, and Porsha will be fine. It's a show.
Now, slow your roll, damn it, Kiki. You made us laugh the first time. We here to talk about the damn show. We know it's the show. Okay?
I never understand why people say, "Oh, y'all always talk about blah blah blah." Like this is a commentary.
It's a recap
on the people you want us to talk about.
Angie Winston said, "Are you going light on Pete in hopes of an interview?" First of all,
see, just when I said I was gonna read the comments, y'all keep telling me.
No, I gotta listen.
Do it live.
I get read all the time. First of all, I do not go light on Porsha. Okay, I said what she said was wrong. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say it, but that's why I offered up what I would have preferred. Okay, and in terms of me getting a Porsha interview, listen, we'll see what happens. Y'all are hilarious.
She should give you an interview. I think you would handle her with care. I think you would also ask her questions that people would be surprised that you're asking, because everyone's always talking. You don't hold her accountable. That's your friend. You're protecting her. I think when you do your one-on-one interviews, you definitely ask things that are not just like softball questions. I think it would do her a big service actually to come on your show, because when you feel like you're always like I'm not really coming off the way I want to come off, or I could explain some things.
Right.
I think you'd be the perfect person to interview her because you're not trying to get a gotcha moment. Now, I would if I was interviewing her, but you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
I love your honesty.
I'm
So
always
look,
gonna be honest. Listen, I'm not perfect.
no, we love it. No, listen, the beauty of my podcast is, and Claudia knows this because she's been on my chair twice, I might add, is because, listen, I have great relationships, but I also create a safe space for people to just be honest. And it's not me, listen, it's not my job to hold people accountable. I'm not in your life in terms of like, I'm not messing with you like in a relationship. Like if you're not my man or my family member, like but as your friend, and that's why, listen, I know you guys think I go light on Porsha. And listen, I get it. But you guys don't also remember you have people like Claudia who says like, no, we're real friends and he's honest with me. I'm honest with him. We had an argument before and we got past it, right?
He walked out of the restaurant all dramatic on Santa Monica. I'm like, oh.
It was everything in hindsight. Love it. And people are taking pictures. Okay. Quad said on Married to Medicine, she said, Carlos calls me and be like, you ain't looking too good, baby. I do have that type of relationship with my girls. So look, I do feel like an interview with Porsha and I will be great because I know the gig, I know her, I know what she's going through. And I do think Porsha deserves to talk to somebody who's not going to come in, pow, because I don't do that to anybody, right? But I do ask all the questions. And what I try to do is find a way for people to be heard. That's why I brought up Rashid and Kirk. And that's why I'm dropping an exclusive interview tomorrow with somebody that I feel like is misunderstood. And no, it's not a housewife. She's on another show. I'll move on now.
No other hints?
She is celebrating something with her husband.
Candy.
You have to wait and see what happens. All
is
right.
she Bravo talent? Is she? You said she's not a housewife, but is she Bravo talent?
She's not Bravo talent.
Oh, okay.
Was she ever Bravo talent?
No.
Oh, so I'm wrong for once.
Ooh.
Well, we can't wait to see who it is because I know it's gonna be good.
Yes. All right, so this is our last one of the night. Tamara B. Kenya being at the reunion would drive ratings through the roof. Surprise us producers. Epic love Mondays. Y'all are great. We love you, Tamara. All right. Dustin, Claudia, another amazing night. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Met Gala. Claudia, Dustin, anything you want to promote? Because I'll start with Dustin for this one because our friend Claudia is on his Cowboy Carter tour.
Dustin,
talk about your comedy tour, Dustin.
I'm very, very, very excited. God is in the blessing business. And after 2 sold out shows in New York, you know, them offers did what they had to do. So we're going on the road with this. I'm about to give y'all the rundown now of the current cities that we have. Tickets are on sale now. If you go to DustinRossLive.com, just like it sounds, that's the way it's spelled. And you can see the ticket purchasing info, meet and greet info. And I am taking them Chris Brown style pictures at the meet and greet. So if that's your thing, you know what I'm saying? Pull up. May 24th, Pittsburgh. May 31st, Seattle. June 12th, LA. June 14th, Chicago. June 15th, St. Louis. June 17th, Philly. June 21st, DC. And August 16th, Atlanta. So pull up on your boy and let's talk a little shit and laugh. It'll be good to see y'all.
I'm so happy for you, Dustin. You work so hard and you are dope.
Thank you, friend. Y'all are too. Thank you for real. But that's it for me, Claudia. Where can I find you, boo?
On Wednesdays with Erica Cobb, we have Accidentally Informed. We're trying to grow that.
I love Erica Cobb, by the way.
Me too.
I'm gonna invite her to when we go to DC and hang out.
Please.
And we're gonna do that. And also back on the road for Games Women Play. We have 2 more rounds. So we're gonna be in Indianapolis, Chicago, St. Louis, Greensboro, Atlanta, May 16th and 17th.
Yes.
And then we're gonna end up in Charlotte on the 18th of May. So get your tickets at gameswomenplay.com. Also got a couple movies. Run is going to be out. It's going to be in a theatrical release. We're going to start doing press. I believe we'll be presenting at an award show soon.
Yes.
And yeah, it's a really good movie. It's Drew Sidora's in that movie. Erica Pinkett, Erica Mena, Annie Alonso, my best friend, Marcus Houston. It's a dope film. I can't wait for y'all to see it.
That's dope. Stay tuned, Crystal. I just saw that. And congratulations, Claudia.
Thank you.
Congrats, Claudia. Congrats. Listen, I am immensely proud of the two of you. And
Thank you.
This is just the beginning as you two are venturing off into another stratosphere of your celebrity, but also your career. Like, my spirit is telling me there's another road that you two are going to venture off into that you did not see coming. But everything happens in God's timing. So
yes,
just buckle up and be prepared for it. But I really do see that for the two of you.
On the beach the other day, I prayed for an unexpected something you just said. I said those exact words, unexpected, totally. I didn't expect it coming in. So yes, yeah, just in the
receive it.
Yeah,
I've been trying to tell people God speaks to me. I did an interview with somebody last week. It'll come out in a few weeks, and she said to me, she said, when I look at you, now listen, guys. She did say this, Claudia, so don't make a joke, okay?
Okay. I'll try not to.
Okay, thank you, because I know Dustin will believe me. Claudia, she said, Carlos, when people look you in the eye, when you look people in the eye, we can feel your soul and your spirit because we know that you mean well, and we feel like God is in the presence of it. So the fact that I was saying that, Claudia, not knowing what you prayed for, no, it's true. God wanted me to confirm that for you. Is why He told me that and put that on my heart. And so that was confirmation.
Both of y'all niggas need to go play the number. That's what I think. All that lucky little 1-2 y'all just had. Y'all need to go play the number tomorrow. That's what that sound like to me.
They need to go ahead and make this reboot of Dallas and make it with Black women because I got the crew right here.
You really do, for real. Ready
they
to
all
go.
They bred it up. Got great.
She really does.
Like seriously.
Charles, you seen the deck because you helped me make it.
Bye. This is about the life is the best thing in the world. Claudia, keep your phone out too, boo. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
When we go to Miami.
I'm gonna figure things out, Claudia Jordan. Can you wait
Carlos,
a minute?
you're rich and you're a producer. All you have to do is make one phone call, book the team. Let's go.
And we want we want a nighttime show on an outdoor stage. Wind blowing, us looking good, neon lights on stage. You know, we want to look good.
But will the audio be good, Dustin?
Hell yeah. We're gonna invest. Okay. That's that Kingdom Reign dollar. That go far. So yes, it's gonna be perfect.
Kingdom Reign got those good mics.
You know it. Kingdom Reign got a lot of motherfuckers employed right now.
Don't they?
So
I love you, Dustin. I love you, Claudia. And Raindrops, I have an exclusive interview dropping tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. So please tell your boss that you have an important meeting. So put in your headphones and watch it. It's a funny, good one, and very informative. Okay.
I can't wait. Love you, Carlos. Love you, Claudia.
I love you.
Keep killing it, my friends. Love y'all.
I love y'all. Bye, everybody.